CAC Sports presents Pittsburgh Spirit Soccer. This game is brought to you by Budweiser, the king of beers and proud sponsor of the U.S. Olympic team. For all you do, this Bud's for you. By Burger King, where all the burgers are flame broiled. Aren't you hungry for Burger King now? By Mellon Bank, a neighbor you can count on, serving Penn Southwest with more than 100 community offices. And by Cameron Coca-Cola. Coke is it.
Richfield Coliseum, just outside Cleveland, Ohio. This is Pittsburgh Spirit Soccer. The Spirit and the Cleveland Force, game 3 of their quarterfinal playoff system. This has to be one of the finest rivalries in MISL soccer. A very pleasant good evening, everyone. I'm John Sanders, along with John Paul Della Camera. We talk about rivalry. These two teams are playing for the 9th time this year. They are dead even at 4-4, and they are dead even in the series 1-1. But I think, John Paul, we can probably throw all that out now because we're down to a best 2 out of 3.
It's a different series now. You can throw out all of the statistics, John. Somebody has to win 2 out of the next 3 games. And what this game is, it's a pivotal game. Whoever wins this game is going to force the other team to win 2 straight games. Friday night back here in this building, and possibly on Sunday in Pittsburgh if the series goes 5.
Well, everyone has already gotten a glimpse of what happened in the first 2 games. Cleveland taking the game 1 6-4. Pittsburgh back to take the second one 4-1. Contrasting types of games.
They were rougher than the first one. I think the second game was rougher, John. I think a key to this game might end up being on the power play. Pittsburgh is 1 for 8 on the power play, and you can't be that poor in the power play when you get so many chances. 10 penalties the other night, and I think Pittsburgh has to take advantage if Cleveland sits in the penalty box. They may use Luis Alberto there tonight in place of Marcio Leite.
We will see Peter Mavlik. He'll be the starting goalkeeper tonight for the Pittsburgh Spirit as they take on the Cleveland Force. We'll be back to kick off tonight's game. This is Pittsburgh Spirit Soccer. Ohio, we get set for the Force and the Pittsburgh Spirit, game 3 of this playoff series. 6-4 was the final on Thursday night, 4-1 the final on Saturday night, both of those games in the Civic Arena. They'll play here tonight and again on Friday night, and if necessary back in Pittsburgh for game number 5 on Sunday. These two teams have had an excellent matchup during the course of the year. They've played 4 overtime games. The first one of the year was a shootout. It was quite a battle. Our officials tonight will be Gino DiPolito. He's on the left, and Herb Silva is on the right. So it is the Spirit and the Force, and I guess, John Paul, this is what we played all year long for, to get set for this kind of action that we've got coming up tonight.
And it may boil down to this man right here in goal, John Sanders. Peter Mavlik was just brilliant the other night. 1-0 is his record, a 1.00 goals against average. Only 1 goal beat him, that by Kai Haskeby. He played superb in the nets for the Pittsburgh Spirit. On the other side, Christopher Carr didn't play as well on the second game as he did the first game. The first game he set a MISL record, 3 assists, which is unusual for a goalkeeper.
So we are set for soccer, and we're underway. Here is John Paul Della Camera.
Thank you, John. John O'Hara with it on the left wing side. Pittsburgh will attack right side to left, play back to Ostalchik. Now up for John O'Hara. Retreating a bit, plays it over to Adam Topolsky, and then back to Peter Mavlik.
Adam Topolsky may be a little bit tired tonight. Long day for him. He is a brand new father.
That's right. Congratulations to his wife Ula and to Adam. David Topolsky, born at 8 a.m. this morning, 7 pounds 9 ounces. Dr. Zakria helping out. Here's Haskeby. Bring it into the offensive zone. Blocked by O'Hara. Knocked back. Haskeby. A shot save. Mavlik rebounded. Peter smothers it with Louis Nanchoff on the doorstep. Big play for Peter Mavlik. Here's Ostalchik.
And Louis Nanchoff was right in his lap that time. O'Hara had made the save inside the box area, but gave it up, and the Force was right there.
Here's Ian Sibbies turning it toward the penalty arc area. Lets a shot go. It's blocked. Deflected by Tarnozzi. Ian gets it back. Drives it to Topolsky. Now back to John O'Hara. We're just underway. 14:02. That would have been a tough goal to give up in the opening minute of play. But Mavlik settled things down, and now the ball is played back to Peter and up to the team captain, John O'Hara.
You know, both these teams averaged over 5 goals a game in regular season, but yet here in the playoffs, the Spirit with 4 in each game, and the Force with a total of 7. That's about 3.5 a game. So it is a little bit different when you get in the playoffs.
Play it a little tighter defensively, or you try to. Here's Topolsky, except in the Baltimore-New York series. Here's Adam bringing it right side. Around the boards. A quick shot stopped by Vaccaro as Kapka almost got free, and Vaccaro's up and throwing to the near boards. Louis Nanchoff marked tightly by O'Hara. Nanchoff got away, but there was a foul. Now they're going to bring it back. That's a little too quick on the restart as we look at John O'Hara, who has played spectacular for the Pittsburgh Spirit once more this season. Johnny had 79 block shots. He's only 23 years old, so you got to wonder how good he's going to become. And he's a perennial all-star as it is. Pittsburgh will make a change, so will Cleveland. Keith Murphy already out. He usually doesn't play these days until the latter stages. He's been in the doghouse.
And Bernie James has already been on and off. He's the man that the Pittsburgh Spirit had so much problem with in the Civic Arena. And I think one difference, John Paul, and you and I talked about it before the game, is the size, or at least the width of the field.
Could cause some problems. Here's Davidson, right side to Peter Miller. Vosmeyer after him. Off the boards, Mavlik is right there. Let's set it up for you. Kevin Marr, Dave McKenzie are the defenders. Bobby Vosmeyer with Dave Hagen and Paul Child, who got a standing boo when he was introduced here. People may have watched the game on TV the other night and thought Paul was a little rough. He had a battle all night with Bernie James. He's had a battle all season with Bernie James, actually, as McKenzie plays it back to Peter Mavlik, and Pittsburgh will set up.
When we mentioned the width of the field, this field is wider. Vosmeyer says that will help this team because they like a little more wide open style.
McKenzie in the corner. He wanted Child off his foot. Picked up by Dargle. Over on the left side for Furphy. Broken up. Taken back by Kevin Marr to Hagen. He's got a little room. David plays it toward the penalty arc area. Cuts to the right. Toes it to the right boards. Marr the shot. Leg save Vaccaro. Child off the boards, and Vaccaro is there. So Pittsburgh putting on some pressure, although they have not scored yet. 12:06 to go. Quarter number one. Scoreless from the Richfield Coliseum. This is Davidson. Marked up by Vosmeyer. Davidson cuts to his right foot. The shot hit his own man, Dargle, on the back. Now it's Furphy playing it off the boards. Back out for Vic Davidson. Davidson about 45 feet out. Brings it to the box. Couldn't get a good shot away, and Mavlik catches it off the carom. Rolls it right side to Bob Vosmeyer. Bobby, lead pass for Child. He'll head it back to Dave Hagen. Hagen along the near wing boards. Good lead ball for Bobby Vosmeyer, who'll get it away from the back of Gino DiPolito. Cuts to the inside, a shot. What a save, Vaccaro.
Brilliant save by Vaccaro that time. Great shot by Vosmeyer. He really put something on that ball that time.
He made a nice cut to his right side and really let it go, but Vaccaro was right there. That's a big save for him, so each goalkeeper has made one early. Benny Dargle with the ball. Cleveland changing up on the fly. Louis Nanchoff with it. Runs it wide to the left wing. To Haskavy, knocks it back to Michael Kalm. Long shot, tip, score. Haskavy. 1-0 Cleveland.
They had two men in the box area, John Paul. That was the key to that. When Kalm moved it into the box, Haskavy just got a piece of it, directed it away from the goalkeeper Mavlik to put the Cleveland force out on top. It comes just 3:55 into this game. There's the deflection.
And a critical mistake there is that Haskavy was unmarked. Here it is again. Kalm shot, and there's an easy tip. No one marked up Kai Haskavy, who may very well be the best all-around player in the Major Indoor Soccer League today. Back on live action. Pittsburgh trails 1-0. Mavlik on the left side for John O'Hara.
And it was Haskavy with his third goal of the playoffs. Kalm getting his first assist, and here he comes again.
He's slowed down and taken down by Kapka. Play on, say the officials. Herb Silva and Gino DiPolito on the field. This is O'Hara. Up for Ian Sibbies. Ian losing it. Now it's Haskavy trying to bring it back in over the line. Left wing side boards. Knocks it right side. Nanchoff getting it. Cuts it to his inside. O'Hara takes the ball away. Here's John O'Hara on the run. Over midfield, looks for some support. Now we'll put the brakes on. Finds Ostalchik. Nice way to settle things down. Greg will bring it into the offensive zone, but the pass is going to be picked off. Tarnozzi to Michael Kalm. Kalm on the right. He's got some room if he wants to go in deep. Off the boards, Mavlik with a save, and he almost lost it.
And standing right in his lap that time was Alex Tarnozzi, waiting for the rebound that almost got away from Peter Mavlik.
Here's Greg Ostalchik carrying it on the left side. It's a 1-0 Cleveland Forest lead on Haskavy's third of the year for Michael Kalm at 3:55 of the opening quarter. Cleveland will get the ball back. Louis Nanchoff brings it across the attacking zone. Broken up by Topolsky. Here's a great chance to counter for Pittsburgh. Lead ball for Sibbies is going to be too far. Vaccaro knocks it around the boards. Ostalchik in after it. Greg reverses it well for Kapka on the right side. Z holding it. Brings it into the penalty arc for Sibbies. Needs some help. Ian rolls it right. Topolsky in after it. Adam around the boards. Dargle will smack it out. Topolsky leads the club in shots taken. Pittsburgh, that is, with 12 shots on goal. So he's been shooting in the playoffs. He led all defenders on Pittsburgh with 164 regular season shots.
Probably, in my mind, has the hardest shot on the team, especially from around the red line.
It'll be tough for anybody to argue that. He can let him go. It's played back to McKenzie as Topolsky and O'Hara get a breather. It's up for Ostalchik over the midfield line. Here comes Greg into the attack zone. Ostalchik holding it. His team down 1-0. Takes a shot too high. Knocked down off the chest of Peter Miller. Picked up by Furphy around the boards. Taken by Vic Davidson for Peter Miller. Hagen now on for Pittsburgh as the Spirit try to change. Davidson into the attack zone for Furphy. Bad pass back. Hagen will steal. David Hagen up the right side. Hagen tries to turn it to the middle. Now goes wide to the left. Good run, but he's tackled off the ball by Brett Hall.
Excellent tackle. That's really the only way to get the ball away from him is to kick it away from him. You really can't bump him off the ball. You've got to do it with your legs.
He stays right with you in the bump. He can take it. Here's Davidson leading it into the box, and Dargle didn't go that way. Mavlik came out. He won it, and he got tackled. And they say play on. No foul. Here's Dargle in the corner. Mavlik got a piece, but not enough. And it's still play on as Marr lifts it upfield. Brett Hall on his horse to get it. Sends it all the way back to Vaccaro. 8:06 remaining. First
Mavlik
quarter.
early having to help himself out by going out and making some tackles against the defenders.
And he's got to make that play. Off the boards, Vossmeyer comes in, toes it to the near side for Hagen. David in trouble. Look at the pressure Cleveland is putting on the Spirit in their own zone. And there's a foul finally called.
Excellent pressure because they're also cutting off the passing lane for reversing the ball back to Mavlik, which means you've got to move it someplace else.
So Cleveland's starting out right here like they did in game 1, not game 2, and Pittsburgh will have to try and get things going. Here's one way to do it. Splitting the defense wide is Vossmeyer. Knocks one in, doesn't get a good shot away. But that forced everybody to go wide and give Pittsburgh at least a potential chance. 7:29 left. First quarter, 1-0 Cleveland. Ball played into Vic Davidson. Marked by McKenzie, and he fouled him. Davidson will put it in. Now he's going to wait for Furphy instead. Knocks it back for Benny Dargle. Dargle with a long one into the left wing boards area for Davidson, who did not take a regular shift in game 1 or 2. He takes a fall here from McKenzie. So that's a bit of a switch for Timo Lukowski, but Craig Allen supposedly is hurt a little bit. Here's a Furphy shot. That's going to go wide. Hagen will pick it up.
And again, he can't reverse to Mavlik because they cut off that lane. They've got to make the quick pass, get it over the other side, and get it upfield.
Here comes McKenzie as Hagen did a nice job to get rid of the ball. This is an end-to-end game. This ball has not gone out of play once. McKenzie around the boards. Vaccaro will come out after it. 6:52 left. Still in the opening quarter. And it's a 1-0 Cleveland force lead. Pittsburgh will have Child, Hagen, Vossmeyer, O'Hara, and now Adam Topolsky coming on for the Spirit. Here's Louis Nanchoff. Haskeby breaks on the left. Nanchoff cutting, broken up, and a nice tackle by Topolsky, but Nanchoff gets it back. Sends it to Michael Kalm at the midfield line. Long ball around the boards for Haskeby. Vossmeyer knocks it ahead. Quickly, back come the Spirit. Here's Hagen. Neutral zone. On his own side for Adam Topolsky. Adam will bring it upfield. O'Hara trying to join in the overlap. Now he fakes. Here's the Topolsky shot, not enough on it, and it goes out of play. 6:14 to go. 1-0 Cleveland. You're watching Pittsburgh Spirit Soccer. Regular season wins for John, who's almost even his playoff record. He's 2-3. He'd like to even it tonight. O'Hara plays it over to Topolsky. Pittsburgh down by 1-0. Still 6:09 to go. Quarter number 1. Here's Topolsky. Bringing it through. Right side for Kapka, tackled away by Kalm. O'Hara gambles and wins it. For Adam Topolsky at the red line of Cleveland. For Kapka. Z knocking it to the near side. He and Ostalchik have a communications gap, and now it's finally knocked back to O'Hara. Johnny plays that one well with Haskeby right on him. Upfield for Topolsky. Nice move. Adam will try to knock it ahead for Kapka, and Tarnozzi is going to send it up into the crowd and out of play. 1-0 Cleveland. You're watching Pittsburgh Spirit Soccer. As Haskeby tackles the ball away from Greg Ostalchik along the near boards. This is Haskeby. It's a 1-0 Cleveland lead. That man Haskeby has the only goal of the game thus far. Here's Peter Miller. Left side, Louis Nanchoff tackled away by Topolsky, but Haskeby is back for it.
Haskeby covers so much territory. He'll go off now, but he works side to side and end to end. He's got a lot of playoff experience going back to the very beginnings of the MISL.
On the right side, Dargle. Up for Peter Miller. Collision there. No fouls, though. Miller getting by, and O'Hara tripped him up. Foul called on Pittsburgh's John O'Hara. There will be a free kick coming up for Benny Dargle and the Cleveland Force. 4:45 remaining. First quarter, it's a 1-0 Cleveland lead. On the left side, Davidson got around Topolsky. Takes a drive, and he scores. 2-0 Cleveland on a wicked drive by Vic Davidson, who beat Adam Topolsky along the far boards.
Davidson gets the goal. It was set up very, very well. He got free on the far side, breaks in, steadies it with his right foot, shoots with his left foot, and even though Mavlik came out, the angle, he could not cut it off, and he was able to get the far side of the net and make it 2-0 in favor of the Force.
Brett Hall will get the assist on that goal by Vic Davidson, his first goal of the playoffs. And Pittsburgh, after starting out pretty well in this game, find themselves on the short end of a 2-0 score.
So Hall and Davidson teaming up for the first time in the playoffs. It comes officially at 10:21 of quarter number 1. The Spirit will have to go to work.
Mavlik didn't see Furphy there, and now Miller will intercept it. But we've got a pushing foul anyway on Cleveland. Pittsburgh cannot afford to panic. It's way early in this game, so they have plenty of time to get back in it. Peter has to be careful how far out he comes. Here's McKenzie sending it in. Off a deflection, but Vaccaro is there. McKenzie sprinting back against Davidson.
This is what Vaccaro did in game 1. He got 3 assists with lead passes like that. They all went to Craig Allen.
Here's Davidson. Left side, Furphy. Nice save off Mavlik's fingertips. Along the near boards, Peter Miller knocking it back. Brett Hall with a good move to keep it alive in the offensive zone. Now to Peter Miller at the red line. Back for Brett Hall. Hall sends it back, neutral zone. This is Benny Dargle. Vosmeyer almost took it away. Dargle will get it back. Around the boards for Vic Davidson. 2-0 Cleveland leading it. The ball somehow gets to Dargle. Takes the shot. He scores! 3-0 Cleveland. And Pittsburgh better regroup fast, because that's not a good goal to give up. John, that ball went through about 3 sets of legs coming through, and it was not a particularly hard shot.
It comes just a minute and 1 second after the other one. Here it is. There's a little bit of a move. He's got Vosmeyer in front. And the ball, apparently, on the play Mavlik was screened, and Pittsburgh is going to take a timeout right now. They're going to need it.
Well, it's a good time to take a timeout and talk things over. We will take a timeout as well. Cleveland leading Pittsburgh 3-0. You're watching Pittsburgh Spirit Soccer.
I'll tell you, John Paul, the last 10 minutes has been all Cleveland. Their rushes have been outstanding. They've had 3 or 4 men in the attacking zone, and every time the Spirit turn upfield, they'll take one shot, goes harmlessly off the boards, is picked off, and right back they come.
That's right.
All the pressure has come from Cleveland. All the action has been Cleveland Force. But remember, in the MISL, we have to play a whole 4 quarters, and things can turn around in a hurry.
They have a habit of doing that. Here's Bernie James now for Cleveland with the ball. Cleveland leads 3-0. Dargle at 11:20. First goal to the playoffs from Davidson. So Davidson with a goal and an assist already. Nanchoff broken up by Stalchik, and then Nanchoff held him. Held on to him for dear life. There's Gray getting up a bit slowly. Free kick coming up here for the Pittsburgh Spirit, who have to whittle away and try to get these goals back. They trail 3-0. 3:22 to go, and this is the opening quarter. John O'Hara with it. In the neutral zone.
One thing that happened during that timeout, the first person that Coach Kowalski talked to was Peter Mavlik when he came on. He went right to him and said something.
If only we had the mic down there. Here's Louis Nanchoff stealing it away. Here comes another move to the right. Save Mavlik. That's a beautiful save. That would have been 4-0. Nanchoff had him dead to rights. Greg Ostalcher with it. That's what Pittsburgh needs. They need the big save. Let's see what they can do with it. Sometimes that big save leads to the big goal. Topolsky will leave it back now for Peter Mavlik, where the play will start again.
They have to get something started offensively. You saw the move. You saw the leg save that was made by Peter Mavlik, and it was that close to being 4-0 Cleveland.
It was actually a nice move by Nanchoff. He's dangerous. He had it on his left where he normally goes, but he hooked it to the right and got a good kick away. Here's Mavlik taking a look around as he goes upfield over the midfield line. The crowd's starting to get into it here in Cleveland, or Richfield to be precise. Mavlik knocks it back to John O'Hara. Johnny holding it. Nanchoff on him. Long one into the corner for Topolsky. He'll get it off the boards. Adam blocked. He'll try to come out with it to Kapka. Z in the box area. Sibby's the give and go, but Kapka couldn't get a good foot on it. They've got a whistle and a foul anyway, and the foul is going to be on the Pittsburgh Spirit.
Excellent defense that time. The marking, Spirit slow in setting up because the marking was being done so well by the Cleveland Force. Then when the ball did come into the box, you saw about 4 yellow jerseys collapsing on the ball.
That's right. That would have been a tough way to make the give and go work. Here's Louis Nanchoff slipping by again, but the pass is not a good one, enabling Sibby's to pick it up. Michael Kalm all over him.
Well, the difference is obvious. Every time the Force come in, somebody's open, either on one wing or the other. The Spirit come down, no one has been open so far.
That ball went over 3 lines on the part of John O'Hara, and Kapka and Haskeby are still playing. Come on, guys, it goes back to the first line. Usually when you see that 3-line pass, it's from a goalkeeper. That just about made it. Here's Bernie James playing it right side, but Haskeby was breaking the other way.
He was actually bumped off the ball that time by Johnny O'Hara. He started to go one way, got a little nudge from Johnny O, and that was it.
Here comes O'Hara leaving it for Kapka. Pittsburgh trying to change up here on the fly. Pass to McKenzie. Knocks it in for O'Hara. Try to knock it into the box. Block once. Johnny tries again for McKenzie. Broken up. Mack going down. Michael Kalm in there with a nice tackle. Along the near boards, the Vosmeyer gamble doesn't work. Furphy will slide it away, and now it's Bobby Vosmeyer picking it back. Bobby, another one of those players that plays it up and down the field. He came back and made the recovery to get the ball back for Pittsburgh. Plays it to Marr.
And the Force have been able to win almost every loose ball here in the first period as we climb down towards 1 minute left.
Vaccaro coming out, maybe a mistake. Hagen knocks it easily. McKenzie shot it upstairs. If McKenzie could have gotten a real good ball, a real hard pass, that one might have been Pittsburgh's first goal, but David couldn't get enough on that ball, and it enabled Vaccaro to get back in a goal. I think McKenzie sensed that he had a rush, and he just got underneath it.
You saw a look at Davidson there, who is back downfield now. He's had a big first quarter, 1 goal, 1 assist so far for the Cleveland Force. That's why they're on top.
Chris Vaccaro with the ball. There's only a minute left in the opening quarter. Vaccaro with a toss up field for Davidson. Furphy sprinting behind the defense. Marr back to pick him up. Here's Davidson. Cutting it to the right side. Takes a shot, and it's deflected. Last touch, I believe, by McKenzie, and it will force a corner kick for Cleveland. This is dangerous. Any kind of a set play, but Cleveland is very good at this, so Pittsburgh has to watch out. They don't want to give one up in the closing seconds, and we're looking at 47 left before the first quarter comes to a close. Peter Miller will be taking it. Miller knocks it out to Dargle. A shot blocked by Vosmeyer. Then it hit Dargle's hand, and the handball call is made. McKenzie will put it in play. 44 seconds left in the quarter. Up for Hagen. David Hagen against Brett Hall. Fakes him. Look at those moves. Hagen now taken down, but he gets right back up. Bounces right back, actually, to Vosmeyer. Over to McKenzie in the attack zone. Mack cuts it back for Dave Hagen. Pittsburgh down 3-0. Hagen blows it by Hall. Vaccaro comes out, wins the ball nicely. Back for Brett Hall it goes. Hall bringing it upfield at the midfield line, passing it to the left side. This is Furphy. Keith Furphy at the midfield line. 14 seconds left. Davidson knocking it back to Benny Dargle. Dargle holding up. Cuts it on the left side. Peter Miller. Miller chipping it off the boards near wing, and it's McKenzie to make the play. Then he stumbled along the carpet. The horn sounds anyway, ending the first quarter of play, and the crowd loves it in Richfield as we take a look at the Pittsburgh Spirit bench, a bit down for now. The score at the end of 1. Cleveland leads Pittsburgh 3-0. You're watching Pittsburgh Spirit Soccer.
Coliseum outside of Cleveland, Ohio, and John Paul, I think it's safe to say this first quarter belonged to the Force, no doubt about it. They scored 3 times, and we'll take it from goal number 1.
Michael Kalm's going to help set up the first one, John. There's Haskeby. Look at how far alone he is in that box, and that's the last guy you really want to give that kind of room to. A simple deflection, and Haskeby put it home. Nothing Peter Mavlik could do on that one.
Brett Hall, number 23, will set up Davidson. Watch him break down, break in, beats Adam Topolsky, takes it in, and with a left foot, he's steady with his right, He picks the far side of the net, and that made it 2-0.
Adam went for the ball on the far boards. If he gets the ball, there's no problem, and Pittsburgh may counter. When he missed the ball, Davidson was alone. Mavlik had to come out and challenge, and Davidson placed it to the far side.
And it was less than a minute later when Davidson, number 10, will set it up. Watch, the ball goes by about 3 Spirit players. Dargle turns himself around, makes a strong kick, and I think Mavlik must have been screened because he broke very late on the ball, and it was another goal. 3-0.
And our first look, John Sanders, as you get to do some play-by-play, Drago Dumbovic makes an appearance. The right time, I think, for Drago. And we'll see if he can do something to get the Spirit back on the board. And for the second quarter of play-by-play, with Pittsburgh trailing 3-0, we go to John Sanders.
And home team puts it in play for the second and the fourth quarters. So it is the Cleveland Force controlling. There is Dumbovic in the lineup for the first time tonight. Force leading 3-0, and the ball bounces along and then over the boards down in the near corner just outside Peter Mavlik. So we'll go back and start it over. The Spirit will put the ball in play with a goal kick. There is James, number 20, Bernie James, very physical player, 6 feet even, 200 pounds, likes to throw his body around. Here's O'Hara. Dumbovic on with Topolsky. Z. Kapka and Ian Sibby's on right now, so we've got the Polish connection out there. Just underway in the second quarter. Cleveland leading 3-0. Hoskevy heads it back. And finally, it comes all the way back into the Pittsburgh zone.
What we're going to see here, too, John, is that Kapka will move back to a midfielder's role. Pittsburgh loses a little bit defensively because of the change, but they need some offense to get things going.
Got to get some goals. In the near far corner, it is O'Hara. But he was triple teamed in there. Pushed off the ball. Call goes against the Force. So Pittsburgh will put it in play. You get a good look at Ian Sibby's. Sibby's to Dumbovic. He'll bring it back and set it up. Drago to O'Hara right at the red line. Spirit controlling the ball, down 3-0. Here's Topolsky. He'll back away a little bit toward midfield. Go to Dumbovic. Drago reverses. Kapka tackled away from him nicely by Alex Tarnuzzi. Now Dumbovic on a run against Calm. Shot misses wide to the far side. Topolsky brings it back to O'Hara. Sibby's knocks it down, loses to Hoskevy, and he goes to the goalkeeper Vaccaro. Now it's big Bernie James. Intercepted. Here is Sibby's with a chance. The drive is blocked. It's straight up in the air. Vaccaro battling Kapka for the ball. I believe it was Bernie James that got a piece of it, made the deflection, and Kapka couldn't get it away from the goalkeeper.
That's a tough break for Pittsburgh. When you get an opportunity like that, if they could have cashed in, it would have been a big goal for them.
Nanchoff loses to O'Hara at midfield. Now at the red line of the Force to Dumbovic. This is the area Drago likes to work. His shot is just saved at the last second by Vaccaro. A blistering shot by Dumbovic, and down he goes. That'll be the first penalty of the night. And we had a bunch of them on Saturday, and the first one of tonight is going to go against Louis Nanchoff. So as Nanchoff heads to the penalty box, we'll take a break. 3-0 Cleveland. This is Pittsburgh Spirit Soccer. Man in the box tonight. 2 minutes for boarding. He did it to Drago Dumbovic, put him into the boards pretty good. Now the Spirit with a chance. We return to live action. Kapka trying to give it back to Dumbovic, and it bounces all the way to Vossmeyer.
Big power play, John, from Pittsburgh, even though there's plenty of time. 1 for 8 are the Spirit on the power play. They've got to get things going. That was a good shift before the penalty took place. So let's see if they can get it coming back and score.
Dumbovic shot and a score. Drago Dumbovic puts the Spirit on the board. He took a pass that time from Bob Vossmeyer, but it was Dumbovic who took one quick look at Paul Child away from him. I think pulled the goaltender's eyes off for a moment, then took the shot and drilled it. So Dumbovic gets the goal.
Here he is taking on Bernie James, who admits to having trouble with him. He took the shot right between James's legs. I don't think Vaccaro ever saw that. Right between the legs of Bernie James. There's another look at it. He stops the ball, brings it to his right foot, lets it go. Right between the legs of Bernie James to get Pittsburgh back in there. They scored on a power play.
So Vossmeyer gets the assist. Dumbovic gets his first playoff goal. The Spirit get back in it. It's 3-1. The goal officially came at 2:28. So a quick start in the first 2.5 minutes, John Paul. And here's Paul Child battling over there with Benny Dargle. The call goes against Child. And of course, with the penalty. Coming back out of the penalty box is Louis Nanchoff, so the teams are at equal strength. Vossmeyer gets the assist, the goal by Dumbovic.
Let's see what they can do here, John. See if they can switch momentum to their side. This next goal becomes important. If they give one up, it nullifies what they've just done. If they get one, they're within one.
Vaccaro, long lead pass. Here's Miller turning. Marked well that time by Vossmeyer. A difference already defensively. Much tighter marking that time down the field. Back comes Vossmeyer on the run. For Kevin Marr on the far side. Bangs it into the boards, and Vaccaro is right there. Tripping the call. So a chance for the Spirit. They'll put it in play in the corner.
You're right, though, in that last shift. It picked up the team. That goal gave them a big lift, and defensively, they pulled it tighter. There's the foul. Dargle for tripping. Here's a set piece, and we'll see what Pittsburgh can do on this. It's something that teams practice on every day.
11:48 to play first half. 3-1, the Force. Right in front for Child. Comes all the way back out.
Child is going to get a foul anyway, but what a great fake by Vossmeyer. He looks back at McKenzie like he's going to pass it to him, and that goal, if they had scored, would have completely caught Vaccaro off guard. No one expected that ball to come in front. There's a look at it. We're going to see it a little bit late coming in there, but Child was marked tightly by Peter Miller. Miller wasn't taking any chances. And now look at this. Cleveland is going to call a timeout. That's an interesting call.
And Miller that time did what he had to do. He stayed between his man and the goal. That's what you're supposed to do in that situation. 11:45 to play first half. Cleveland leading Pittsburgh 3-1. This is Pittsburgh Spirit Soccer. Got up to a great start. He won 12 games in a row. The team itself won 11 straight games to begin the season.
And he's out with a hyperextension. He's got actually a problem with a couple of fingers on his left hand, and he told me before the game that he would not be playing in this one. So it is Vaccaro, who was their hero last year in goal, and this year became the #2 goalkeeper. And there's a man he was traded for, Luis Alberto, talking with Drago Dumbovic. That's a good timeout, by the way, John, that Cleveland called, because Timo Lukowski can see momentum change, and he's better off to call it now and settle them down than to wait 5 minutes when maybe Pittsburgh could have put another one by.
11:45 remaining in the first half. It's 3-1. Spirit goal by Drago Dumbovic. Hoskevy, Davidson, and Dargle have scored so far for the Cleveland Force. Kevin Marr intercepts the pass by Vaccaro, then he loses it to Furphy. Back comes Keith. Give and go. Off the boards. Furphy just misses wide to the right. Furphy had a shot that time as Mavlik came out. The Force trying to keep the heat on. The ball was drilled back in by Dargle, but picked off that time by Mavlik. So now Dave McKenzie, who had a great season offensively, 15 goals, 21 assists in regular season, still looking for his first point in the playoffs. He's being marked by Vic Davidson. Davidson's had a good first half. He had a goal and an assist in quarter number 1. Cleveland 3, the Spirit 1. This is Kevin Marr for Paul Child. Child tripped from behind. Rennie Dargle got the call, so the Spirit again, John Paul, with a chance to set up some offense.
Here's another look at that. Child is going to get his legs cut out from under him by Dargle. It's a good foul call.
Vossmeyer's shot is knocked down in front by Miller. There's another shot knocked down by Furphy, taken that time by Kevin Marr. Good move by Marr. He gets Miller off his back and takes the ball in. He'll go to the corner. Off the boards. Nice grab that time by Vaccaro. He had a problem hanging on to the ball Saturday night, but not so far tonight.
He dropped about 9 of them, John, but Pittsburgh wasn't there. They didn't have to be the other night because they took a 4-1 win. But here, if he loses the ball, I think they've got to be in on him, especially now because they trail by a couple. Although they've looked better now lately.
Davidson sets it back to Vaccaro. Chris starts to come up, so does Paul Child. This is Dargle. Long lead, looking for Furphy. Got a man open in front if they can reverse the ball. The call goes against McKenzie. And they said that was too quick by Keith Furphy. Still, it gives the Force a chance to set something up offensively. Knocked down by about 3 Spirit players. It goes back and out of play. 10:02 remaining in the first half. The Spirit down by 2 now. Dumbovic's goal makes it 3-1.
Would like to remind everybody that the Pittsburgh Spirit Booster Club is selling tickets for this Friday's game in Cleveland. If you would like ticket information, we'll give you two numbers, 881-3686 or 563-3890. They'll be coming up in buses, or you can come as an individual, bring your own transportation, but call either of those two numbers if you'd like ticket information, or call the Spirit office if you missed those numbers. They will give them to you tomorrow.
Attendance expected about 10,000 here tonight. They averaged 13,000, third in the league for the year, and had a game with Spirit in which they had 19,000 at one point. There's a blast that goes out of play that time by Michael Kalm. So they're a little disappointed with the crowd, but John Paul, I think you touched on a good point. When you're not sure of the dates going in, it makes it a little tougher to sell the tickets.
All the teams are experiencing the same kind of problems, John. In Pittsburgh's first game, that was a reason. St. Louis, which averaged about 13 or so during the regular season, had 7,500, second lowest crowd in history. That's what they attribute it to, the fact that you can't sell the ticket if it just says game one without a date. People don't have enough time to bring a group together and get their action set.
Mavlik now starts up to his own red line and keeps coming. 3-1 is our score. The Force leading for Kapka to O'Hara. This is the Dumbovic line, the line that got the goal earlier. Except that at the time they got the goal, they were on the power play, so it was Vosmeyer. Collision right out in front of the circle. Nothing called. They play on.
John Kowalski's upset with that. I don't blame him. There was an obvious push on Haskeby. Both players were going to the ball, but it looked like a shoulder push on the part of Haskeby, knocking down Ian Sibbies.
The call that time went against Z. Kapka.
John is screaming at the bench for 2 minutes. I'd give him at least a foul, if not the two.
There's Bernie James. 9 minutes and 12 seconds remaining in the first half. Now the Force start up. James takes it all the way in. Now gives it up. Haskeby with the drive and misses wide to the left. James will chase it down. Sibbies will try to mark him as he comes in. That one goes easily off the foot of Louis Nanchoff to Peter Mavlik. His pass, it goes beyond 3 lines. He was trying to drop it in that area right near the red line. He had Topolsky out in front, but he couldn't quite do it.
It's a tough throw to make, and usually they're very close on it. That time maybe a foot or so over that final red line. It brings the ball all the way back to the Spirit red line, where Cleveland will have a free kick. And I guess the fact that Craig Allen has not seen a shift, he's got to be hurt, even though Timo Lukowski didn't want to admit that before the game.
Carnozzi trying to give it to Haskeby. It's taken away by Johnny O'Hara. And Haskeby is called on the push. 8 minutes and 46 seconds remaining. We're in the first half. It's 3-1 Cleveland. All the Force goals coming in the first quarter. The Spirit with the lone second quarter goal here tonight. Good pass from Topolsky to O'Hara. Got a little room. Here comes Haskeby now. Haskeby makes the play. They play on. Kalm goes around Dumbovic. O'Hara now tries to get back. Kalm knocked down in front, and back it goes to Mavlik.
Some good defense there by Kapka.
Here's a chance. 1-on-1 for Dumbovic against James. He's got Sibbies with him. Sibbies. Great play by Vaccaro. Came out to tackle it away. An excellent opportunity. Topolsky now tries the shot. And Sibbies is too busy talking to Dumbovic. They got to play on.
He missed it. He missed it. You're right. He was talking back there, and he wasn't expecting it. Drago didn't give him the ball when he should have, or Sibbies had a greater chance. Vaccaro had time to cut down the angle.
Topolsky tackles it away. Here is Sibbies. Ian to Topolsky. Needs to get it back and doesn't. Once again, they need to make the pass a little bit quicker. That was Dumbovic's problem because Sibbies was open, but then Ian can't worry about it. He's got to go ahead and play. Off the bench to make the interception, McKenzie. Dumbovic against Miller, turning, shooting, knocked down in front by Vaccaro. Sibbies can't come up with it. Miller does for Cleveland.
The more you watch this, John, I think you've got to look at number 9 for Pittsburgh. He may be the key player before this one's over.
That'll be a penalty on Z. Kapka. Miller is down. Kapka will go off. We have 7 minutes and 29 seconds remaining in the first half. The Force leading the Spirit 3-1. This is Pittsburgh Spirit Soccer.
The side looked like he got him in the right part of the foot up high, John, like with a knee, and so Kapka will sit out a couple of minutes. Cleveland is 1 for 4 on the power play. That's a 25% efficiency rating. And here's a very good opportunity for Cleveland to come right back because Pittsburgh has taken charge. Look at Drago coming through. I think this is the play where he's got Sibbies over to the right. We'll find out in a minute as he comes into view. There, Drago looks like he saw him, but doesn't give it to him in time. Watch. Vaccaro had a chance to come out and kick that ball away.
Drago made the smart play, but it was just a little bit late.
One too many dribbles, maybe. If he'd given it up just a little bit sooner, it had time to work something back, and probably he would have gotten the ball back on his foot from Civvies.
On this power play, John, Drew Ferguson gets his first chip, the very talented player, and Craig Allen, who may only play in power play situations tonight.
They are on. Number 6 is Dawkins. He'll work it in. They go in the corner. Back to Dawkins. He'll take a drive. It's knocked away by O'Hara. Now it's a foot race. O'Hara runs past, leaves it for Kevin Marr. Spirit short-handed, looking to start something here. We have 6:57 to play first half. Kevin drops it back for Bob Bosmeyer. On with McKenzie. It's Marr, Bosmeyer, McKenzie, and O'Hara. The Spirit trying to take some time off that clock. On the right side, Marr. Kevin taken away from him. Back come the force. That was Vic Davidson on the tackle. Now Davidson set up Ferguson. This is Dawkins. The force being very deliberate, setting it up. 49 seconds, all that remains, and they have not had a shot as yet. Not a real good one. Dawkins. He took the only shot on this power play so far. 37 seconds remaining. It's Dawkins again. And it's intercepted easily by John O'Hara. He'll drive it the length of the field.
The crowd getting a little bit impatient. Haskeby is the key guy, but Pittsburgh is marking up very well. They're shifting. They're not giving Cleveland any chances.
And Allen, right at the top of the box, has not touched the ball, I don't think, John Paul.
Nope.
If he has, just briefly, it goes across. That was a good chance for Cleveland. Again, it comes through the box. 14 seconds left in the penalty. McKenzie rolls it around, gets it back to Moblick. He falls out of the box area, and you cannot do that.
He had his hands outside the box, so it's a handball infraction. Free kick coming up here for Cleveland with 9 seconds left in the man advantage.
Allen tries to squeeze it through and can't. Couldn't decide what he was going to do. Finally decided to take the shot himself. Now Vosmeyer racing to the other end against Dawkins. He'll drop it back to Vaccaro. 5 minutes, 27 seconds left. The teams are at equal strength. The penalty is over. So the Spirit have killed off their first penalty situation. They have scored their only goal on the power play. That is a change in what has happened in the previous 2 games of the playoffs.
Time will tell, John, how important it was there to kill off that penalty. If Pittsburgh comes back and wins it, gets back into the game, that's a key situation because Cleveland could have had a chance to get some momentum going. Not only did they not score, but they didn't have any momentum. They never had chances on Peter Moblick. Here's a look at the foul from behind on Vosmeyer on his former teammate Brett Hall with Chicago.
So Hall puts it in play. Now back to Vosmeyer. Play at midfield right now. Comes over. Furphy settles it down. A chance for Cleveland right out in front. The pass not able to connect. And back come the Pittsburgh Spirit. This is David Hagen. To O'Hara. McKenzie on now with Vosmeyer and Z. Kapka. Here's Kapka. Trying to leave it for Johnny O. And it's just picked out of the air that time nicely by Benny Dargle. Vaccaro got the ball, won a dangerous play, didn't get it, but the Force have it. Cleveland with it, 4 minutes, 30 seconds remaining in the first half. A 3-1 game. The Spirit have played much better in the second quarter.
And we see John Luis Alberto doing some stretching on the Pittsburgh bench. He may be coming on soon.
Child to Kapka. Z trying to set it up as he battles over there against Brett Hall. Now for McKenzie. McKenzie doesn't shoot, gets around perfectly, does shoot, loose in front, Child gets the rebound. It's 3-2. McKenzie took the shot and Paul Child gets the rebound. For Paul Child, it is goal number 4 of the playoffs.
And it comes at 10:49 of the second quarter, and McKenzie's the guy that makes the play. It looked like he could have shot it right away, but look, he'll cut it to his inside, takes the drive, and there's what we were talking about before, Vaccaro and the rebounds. It came out, and Paul Child, who is one of the best in the league at this, does it again for Pittsburgh. Here it is again. Watch Mack. He could shoot with his right, pulls up, he commits Furphy, takes it with his left. There's Child, and Dargle does not take him out of the play.
Could not control it. Child gets the goal. It is his 4th of the playoffs. McKenzie the assist. It is 3-2, and we have a brand new soccer game on our hands right here.
Let's go back to the penalty that they just killed. I think you've got to go back to that and all the pressure that they've been putting on Vaccaro. The game has been changed around a bit.
So with 4 minutes and 11 seconds remaining in the first half, Nanchoff puts it in play. Back it all the way down to Bernie James. Child and James, of course, because Paul plays so much at that end of the field. They have a running battle going because Paul is an attacker. He's always in the offensive zone. James, the defender, is always back there.
Luis Alberto is on for Bob Bosmeyer. Luis's first shift in the series. He's got 3 championship rings to his credit. Worked hard to get them, too.
Child. Here's Alberto. Pass intended for Marr. It'll go all the way back to where Peter Mavlik will come to the red line and pick it up. We're inside 4 minutes at 3:50 remaining in the first half. Kevin Marr has been a steadying influence. Nothing spectacular in the first half, but he's played pretty well on defense so far. Hagen will be marked by Michael Kalm. Gets it back from Child and overruns it.
Both of Cleveland's defenders, John, were in the neutral zone and the forwards were back, which was interesting. It was a man-on-man situation, and the players went back with him.
The call goes against Louis Nanchoff, who was battling that time. He's battling against Spirit goalkeeper Peter Mavlik. Notice a difference, though, in the style of play. Where are all the Cleveland players who were in the attacking zone earlier, cutting off the passing lanes? They're back now. It's changed. On the rush. Adam Topolsky, a drive. Vaccaro just gets there. Just managed to hang on before Luis Alberto could follow up. 3 minutes left in the first half. Kevin Marr wins the battle. At midfield, this is Bernie James. He'll bring it all the way back. You can see the time remaining, 2 minutes and 51 seconds now. Nanchoff against Alberto. Double team, but still gets through. Finally, Alberto kicks it out. James now takes control. See what he does. He'll bring it back to the red line. Bernie does not like to take it in too much. Likes to bring it out first. Here he comes. Hoskevy turning. His defender falls down, and Hoskevy still has the ball. A shot and a score. Hoskevy so tough in the box area. Brings Cleveland back again at 12:37.
That's why he's such a great player. He made that play himself. Topolsky went down, and we're going to see in a moment. It enabled Hoskevy to go wide left, and he was not closed down. Watch. Adam lost his balance. Hoskevy gets free, overruns Hagen. That's a good shot, but it beats Peter Mavlik to the short side.
It was an excellent shot. Had very little of the net to work with, but still was able to pick the corner. Here it is again. Adam goes down. He tries to crawl along. Marr overruns the play. Or rather, David Hagen overran the play a little bit, and Hoskevy got the shot. Back to live action now. Counting down for 2 minutes remaining first half. Hoskevy gets his fourth. James gets the assist. Here's Kapka with civvies, and Vaccaro is there for Cleveland. Brett Hall and Dargle now. Dargle's going to drive it deep into the corner, looking for Furphy. It's headed back. Still battling along the boards. O'Hara and Civvies there. Kicks loose. This is Miller. All the way back to Hall. Again, Hall dumps it in the corner, looking there for Davidson. Davidson with his back to the goal, and Civvies takes the ball away from him. Here comes Ian with 1:22 to play first half. Kapka leading to Dumbovic against Hall. Dumbovic controls, turns. Beats Furphy, still with it. Dumbovic into the box. Civvies back to Dumbovic. It's deflected right in front. Follow shot. Civvies can't get his foot on it. Here's Topolsky. Adam off the boards. Vaccaro's out of the net. The ball in front. Nobody there. Here comes O'Hara. A minute left in the first half. O'Hara marked by Miller. Kapka. Kapka was pushed from behind by Dargle, so the Spirit will set it up with 54 seconds left. A golden opportunity there for Pittsburgh. Like to get that goal back. Dumbovic. Kapka off the boards. Kicked high in the air. Deflected back to Topolsky with a drive. It goes out of play. Adam elected to kick the ball in the air rather than let it settle down, and as a result, he couldn't control it.
I'll tell you what, John, that shift, that last shift, we never had a chance to comment on it. Drago undressed a couple of players. Just tremendous individual moves, and Cleveland does have a problem with him because of his quickness, and I'll still go by with what we were talking about earlier. Drago could end up being the key guy before this game is over. It'll be important to see how Pittsburgh regroups. They've outplayed Cleveland over the last, let's say, 6 or 7 minutes, but they did give up a bad goal there. They can't afford to trail, though, all night.
It is 4-2. The Force at one point led 3-0. The Spirit got back in it. Now 38 seconds remaining. Mavlik is there. The call goes against Pittsburgh. So a chance for Cleveland with 37 seconds to play. Walking back upfield is number 20, Bernie James.
Bernie blocked more shots than anyone in this league last year and was voted as the MISL's best defender.
Gives it to Hoskovy, gets it back from him. Now it's calm. Nanchoff in the corner. Back to calm. Shot is knocked down. The call will go against Hoskovy, who muscled Johnny O'Hara in the box. 23 seconds remaining in the first half. McKenzie turning. Gives it back to Mavlik. Spirit are going to have to hurry now. 15 seconds remaining. Sibby's in the corner. Back to Dumbovic. 5 seconds. Drago trying to ride him off the ball. They can't. He still turns and controls, and time will run out. We have played the first 30 minutes of this soccer game, playoff game number 3, quarterfinal MISL action. And at a halftime, it is the Force of Cleveland 4, the Spirit of Pittsburgh 2. You're watching Pittsburgh Spirit Soccer.
It's been a season series for the players and the fans alike. The Pittsburgh Spirit and the Cleveland Force have reminded sports fans in both cities of a Steelers-Browns rivalry. And it started with Game 1 in Richfield, Ohio, which ended in a shootout win for Cleveland and all kinds of controversy. Luis Alberto for Pittsburgh scored in the closing minute, but it was disallowed when the referee said that Force goalkeeper Chris Sobieski had possession of the ball. This game was to set the tone for the entire series. A series that saw each team win 3 games. 4 of the 6 games went into sudden death overtime. So close was the season series that in the goal differential figure, it was Pittsburgh, scoring 31 goals to 30 for Cleveland. A single goal was all that separated them. Each team won twice in overtime, and for Pittsburgh, this Paul Child goal on a feed from Stevie Buttle sealed an overtime triumph.
Hagen working on Benny Dargle. Hagen still controlling, aside for Stevie Buttle. Buttle for Paul Child, score!
And a Drago Dumbovic score in the extra session here put another game in the victory column for Pittsburgh.
Dumbovic adjusting the ball to his feet. Dumbovic turns into the box for Tiger. Tiger looking for Dumbovic. Score! Dumbovic! And the Spirit win in overtime. Look at Drago!
Among the big guns in the season series were Ian Sibbies, Dave McKenzie, and Dave Hagen for the Spirit, and Kai Hoskovy, Drew Ferguson, Lou Nanchoff, and Craig Allen for the Force. Sibbies, the club's most valuable player, netted 6 goals versus the Force, causing numerous problems for the Cleveland defenders. Hagen, the first-year Spirit forward and their second leading goal scorer, added 4 tallies against the Force. And defender Dave McKenzie, who had his finest year ever, scored 3 times and assisted on a nice goal right here. On the Cleveland side, their brilliant midfielder Kai Hoskovy scored 7 times against the black and gold. Drew Ferguson had 6. And Lou Nanchoff and Keith Furphy each added 4. Craig Allen only had 2, but this one defeated the Spirit 6-5 in their final regular season meeting. Next up, the playoffs, and everyone knew that the playoff series would be no different than the regular season. In Game 1 in Pittsburgh, Craig Allen had 4 goals, and Keith Furphy the game winner, as the Force took the series lead, winning the game 6-4. Game 2 was a different story. Paul Child's goal here gave the Spirit a 1-0 lead, and goals by Dave Hagen and Child again put the game out of reach. The Spirit, led by excellent goalkeeping from Peter Mavlik, won the game 4-1 to tie the best-of-5 series at 1 game apiece. The Spirit and the Force, the rivalry continues, and the sports fans get their money's worth and more.
Period number 2. We're in the third quarter. Cleveland by 2. They've led by as many as 3 tonight. The Spirit have never been in front. So Pittsburgh now will put it in play. Topolsky on with O'Hara, gives it to Johnny. They go in front for Sibbies. He's knocked down. James put him to the turf in front. Nothing called. Dumbovic trying to get control, and does. Drago right at the red line, ridden off the ball that time by Alex Tarnozzi.
Drago's losing his temper a little bit. He's got to stay cool. He's a tremendous player, but he's got to stay cool. He almost lost it a few seconds ago with the official Gino DiPolito, and Pittsburgh does not need any penalties at this stage.
Well, remember one game earlier this year against Memphis, it may have cost him the ball game. He lost his temper, got a penalty in overtime, and the Spirit lost the game.
And he's not wrong. He's been
Memphis,
fouled.
It was Baltimore. I'm sorry.
Baltimore. But he's not wrong. He was fouled, but if they don't call it, arguing with him with the officials is not going to change it.
Adam Topolsky now moves it in front. Z. Kapka takes it there. The marking very tight so far by the Force here in the third quarter. Here's Dumbovic, taken away from him by Michael Kalm. The call goes against Michael Kalm. So the Spirit now. Topolsky in the corner looking for Sibbies. Kapka is there against Haskavy. They are triple teamed. Dumbovic is right out in front, and the Force take over. Long lead pass gets through. Tarnozzi will be marked by Kapka as he turns. Brings it back now to Nanchoff. In front, shot misses to the right. Here's a chance now for Kalm. Knocked away that time by Mavlik to Dumbovic. A collision. Dumbovic goes down. They play on. Here's Bernie James. You can't go up against him one-on-one, I'll tell you that. Not in the body department. James with it. Sibby's out to mark him. 13-19 to play third quarter. It's Cleveland by 2 at 4-2. Dumbovic comes up with it. He's got Sibby's with him. Overruns, goes back against Nanchoff. Going down is Tarnozzi. And that time the call goes against Dumbovic. And Dumbovic will go off.
And Drago's hot. I think that call came late. I didn't see Gino DiPolito make the call. It sounded like the crowd may have called it, but I couldn't see Gino on the near side. I think if he had pulled that card out early, the fans probably would have reacted to it.
It is 4-2 Cleveland. You're watching Pittsburgh Spirit Soccer. Welcome back to the Richfield Coliseum. Drago Dumbovic, the call, serious, dangerous play. Explain that one, John Paul.
I'd really like to, John, but I don't understand that. That's not my call. I think the crowd may have called it, but maybe a trip, maybe a foul, but I've seen worse than that out here tonight.
So the Spirit, for the second time, will try to kill off a penalty. They were able to do it the first time. Here's Miller. Still Miller, McKenzie, O'Hara, Vossmeyer, and Marr on. That's Ferguson, only working the power plays. Haskavy is in the box. Ferguson off the boards, up and over the glass, off the foot of Kai Haskavy, I believe. Nope, they say it was touched last by the Pittsburgh Spirit.
That's going to give Cleveland a corner kick, and if this guy is the man putting the ball in play, you've got to be real careful. Kai Haskavy.
A minute 27 remaining in the penalty to Dumbovic. 12:36 to play in the third quarter. Haskavy works it right in front. Gets it back off the glass and kicked away by O'Hara.
O'Hara knocked that ball in the stands, and he actually made a great play. There was nothing else he could have done with it. Would have been tough if they called the delay of game on it, but Johnny had no choice.
He went to Davidson the last time, tries to work it in front. Davidson can't get his foot on it, and finally Mavlik comes up with it.
See how calm Vossmeyer was? He just knocked it back to the goalkeeper. A lot of people would be afraid to do that in that situation, but Bobby's got the poise of the veteran that he is and made a nice play.
1:08 remaining in the penalty. 12:15 to play. Third quarter, 4-2, Cleveland leading. The Force on the power play. O'Hara, Hoskeby brings it down, but it goes right back into the hands of Peter Mavlik, who will clear it to midfield. Miller there will settle it down. And now Trevor Dawkins gets around Kevin Marr. Dawkins brings it in to the corner. That one's up and over the glass, out of play, off the foot of Kai Hoskeby. The power play, it is Ferguson, Hoskeby, Davidson, Miller, and Dawkins. Hoskeby from the corner. Can't get it around John O'Hara. Dawkins with a shot up and over the glass with 11:43 remaining in the third quarter and 34 seconds on the penalty.
We'd like to tell everybody Game 4 will be played this Friday night in Cleveland. If a fifth game is necessary, it's back at the Civic Arena Sunday at 7 p.m. Tickets are on sale now at the usual places: Civic Arena Gate 1, all choice seat outlets including Kaufman's, Gimbel's, and the record outlet stores. If there is no Game 5, you will get a refund on your money for those tickets, or the tickets can be applied to the next series if Pittsburgh were to win tonight, say, and win Friday as well. And if you already have playoff packages, use game number 3 for Sunday.
Here is Miller. Goes to Dawkins. That's Hagen on now. Vossmeyer trying to cut it off. Can't do it. Goes in front. Now the Spirit will get it. Vossmeyer off the boards looking for Hagen. He is brought down. Nothing called. Hoskeby now with Miller. Hoskeby right in front. O'Hara makes the save, but he can't clear. Hoskeby right outside the circle. Still they battle, and Vossmeyer finally comes up with it.
Well, what I can't understand here, why would they call a foul on Cleveland? It's Pittsburgh's advantage. Bobby Vossmeyer makes a great play, puts the ball between a defender's legs, and Pittsburgh would have been off to the races. Actually, a great setup by all the players out there to kill off the penalty, and O'Hara made a great read on a Hoskeby pass.
Dumbovic against Miller, trying to come in. He is back. The penalty is over. Dumbovic's shot misses just to the left. Miller scissors it up. Dumbovic with a scissors kick. Goes high over the goalpost.
That would have been spectacular if he could have bicycle kicked that one in.
So now with 10:45 to play third quarter, the Spirit looking for the goal. They need John Paul to get that one goal back and reduce the edge to 1.
Luis Alberto now on for the Pittsburgh Spirit, along with Kapka and Dumbovic. Another makeshift unit put on there by Pittsburgh.
Davidson. Going to be called for a handball, I believe. McKenzie wants a little delay of game called as Davidson carried the ball back upfield. Now here's Alberto. Luis looking for Z. Kapka. Dumbovic is on too. And John O'Hara along with Dave McKenzie. Dumbovic back heel pass for Kapka, headed away by Dargle. Now brought out to midfield by Keith Furphy, and Furphy played more tonight than he has in the other 2 games combined, probably, right, John Paul?
Absolutely. I think the reason is that Allen has a bruised right foot, and that's why he's not been out there except on power plays.
Give and go. A little bit of room now for Z. Dargle marks him off the ball, and Dargle will get the call.
It's Alberto's job here, John, to feed Dumbovic, and also they can move Kapka back up to a forward. Sibbies wasn't able to get too much done so far, but he could come back. But that's the reason for Luis being in there.
O'Hara with a drive goes up and out of play with 9:53 to go. The Force leading by 2. This is Pittsburgh Spirit Soccer. Didn't argue.
Well, let's see. He's going to hold him by the shirt right there.
Yeah, that's called holding.
That's holding in my book, John.
Back to live action right in front. McKenzie with a chance off the board, looking for a rebound in front. Child back heel won't go. He still battles in the box, and he's pushed out. There has to be. Oh, the call goes against Paul Child. I don't believe it.
That's a bad call. That really is. Child was pushed off the ball. Let's watch it. McKenzie makes a nice play around the boards. Here's Vaquero again. He doesn't hold it. Watch this back heel. That would have been a great goal. Now he doesn't get it. Look at. That's not a foul on Paul Child.
And you could see Hagen's hand go up. He wanted a 2-minute call against Cleveland, obviously. 5:53 remaining third quarter. Here is Hagen in the corner. Palm takes it away from him. Leaves it to Furphy. Palm in front will break. Down he goes. That'll be a penalty. It'll go against Kevin Marr. It'll come with 5:40 remaining third quarter, and for the third time tonight, the Pittsburgh Spirit will have to try to kill off a penalty.
And if you could read lips, John, you know that Kevin doesn't agree with that call. He's going after the ball. Calm goes over his feet and goes down along the boards, and that cost Pittsburgh 2.
He'll be out for 2 minutes. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. It is Cleveland 4, Pittsburgh 2. This is Pittsburgh Spirit Soccer.
John, what's going to happen in this situation? I mean, Pittsburgh coming very close to scoring, not getting it done, and then having to kill off a penalty. We remind you this broadcast is intended for the private use of our viewing audience. Any rebroadcast, reproduction, or the use of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Civic Arena Corporation and the Pittsburgh Spirit is prohibited. I think I read that faster than anyone's ever done that.
That's a new record. Here's Hoskevy to Miller. Dawkins is on. Davidson is on. This is Davidson in the corner. It dropped right in front. O'Hara just touched it, moved it back to Mavlik. Peter will clear it for Paul Child, racing against Miller. It goes over the glass. Miller gives Paul a little shot as he goes by.
Oh, the big thing for Pittsburgh again, they can't lose their composure. Look at John. He's already gotten the jacket off. He's sweating it out down there on the Spirit bench. This is still anyone's game. 4-2. Cleveland leading Pittsburgh. Plenty of time remaining.
A minute 44 remaining in the penalty. This is Miller, number 4, against Child. Goes for Hoskevy, back to Dawkins. He won't shoot, goes in the corner, off the glass, knocked away nicely that time by Mavlik, but the Spirit unable to clear. Here's Miller. Dawkins. Davidson in the corner. He has a goal and an assist tonight. Miller looking in front for Hoskevy. It's knocked away from him. Or rather, that is Davidson in there, not Hoskevy. It's Davidson, number 10. This is Hoskevy. A minute 5 seconds remaining in the penalty. Let's see what Miller does. Goes in the corner to Ferguson. Uses the boards, and right there to clear it down to the red line, where Vaccaro will put it in play. Peter Mavlik able to move it out. 50 seconds now left in that penalty. Dawkins moves in, does not shoot, goes in the corner. Right in front, an easy goal. They worked it beautifully that time. Ferguson had moved into the box. He took a feed from Davidson, and Hoskevy was right on the doorstep as well.
It's a nice goal by Drew Ferguson. Just nicked it with his right foot, beating Peter Mavlik wide to the far side. Here's Dawkins in the corner. Davidson in front for Drew Ferguson, who dove in to make the play. So Davidson will assist on it. Give Dawkins some credit as well. Here's Davidson. Watch Ferguson. Just hit it off a hop, half a volley kick. And Hoskevy would have had that, John, if it came out. That's a power play goal, Ferguson's first score of the playoffs. And I think your bad feeling was right about the power play.
Well, I just knew you couldn't kill him off all night.
With the assist to number 10, Dick Davidson.
So Davidson with 2 assists and a goal. So far, he's been the big gun. And on the power play, they finally cash it in. 5-2. Dumbovic now. Furphy able to clear it up. See what this does to the momentum of the game. 3:55 remaining third quarter. The Force leading by 3. It's 5-2. They took game 1 6-4. The Spirit winning 4-1 in game 2 Saturday night. Both of those in the Civic Arena. So now we've got to do it here in Richfield, and we've got to turn it around now in the next 18 minutes and 39 seconds. Adam Topolsky. Here's Z. Kapka looking for Sibbies. Sibbies. It's Drago marking him. Now Kapka with it. Topolsky moving across. They go in front to Dumbovic. Dumbovic is being marked, as John Paul pointed out, by Brett Hall. And Hall doing a good job of it.
Sibbies just pushed back at Peter Miller. He was upset at that last foul. Miller's a tough player, one of the most aggressive players out there.
Here's O'Hara. Here's Miller. He'll just drive it upfield. It's almost like they're killing off a power play now. And there's a danger in that, John Paul. You can't do that too long, or you become defensive. You drop into a shell, and you can give up a couple quick ones before you know what happened. Let's hope they do it. Johnny O'Hara right now. 2 minutes and 37 seconds to play third quarter. It's 5-2. The Force by 3. Vaccaro taking some time off that clock. He's in no hurry. Guy moves it for Carnozzi. Alex stops. Back to Dargle. Hoskeby, Carnozzi. Back to Hoskeby. He's got a chance. He settles it down. Likes to work a lot with his back to the goal. Does it very well. Very strong with the ball. Right in front, Sibbies and Topolsky team up. Adam now will go back to the goalkeeper, Peter Mavlik. Mavlik rolls it ahead to O'Hara. Less than 2 minutes to play third quarter. Spirit need one before we get to that fourth quarter. Topolsky into the corner. He'll be double teamed. And as he's double teamed, the call goes against the Cleveland Force. So the new Papa will put it in play. Adam Topolsky. Off the glass it comes in front. Hoskeby knocks it down. Vaccaro picks it up. And he clears it. Back come the Force with 1:32 to play. Here's Calm. Into the corner it goes. That's McKenzie battling over there. Battling against Carnozzi. Call goes against Carnozzi. Spirit quickly put that ball in play. 1:20 remaining in the third quarter. Here's McKenzie. Bob Vossmeyer now back on as a midfielder. Hoskeby knocks it down right at the red line. Taken away from him. Here's James. Battling Hagen. Call goes against Hagen, and Bernie James will put it in play. He's the captain. An outstanding defender. A minute left in the third quarter. McKenzie able to get control of the ball. Get it back to Mavlik. He clears it to Kevin Marr. It was the penalty against Marr at which the first power play goal by Cleveland was scored in the game. The one that made it 5-2. That's where we stand now with 45 seconds left in the third quarter. Vossmeyer moving in. Bobby with a chance. It's knocked away by James. James just kind of scissored the ball and kept it from getting to Vaccaro. 27 seconds left, third quarter. Marr tries to leave it to Dembowik. Here's Drago. For John Kowalski, things just aren't going the right direction. 15 seconds now remaining third quarter. Bernie James starts in, then reverses. Leaves it for Miller on the far side. Miller with a chance, knocked down. Great save that time by Mavlik. Miller gets it back again. Mavlik is there to make the save. Hoskeby now will turn and kick it high and out of play. We have finished three quarters here at the Richfield Coliseum. It's the Cleveland Force 5, the Pittsburgh Spirit 2. You are watching Pittsburgh Spirit Soccer. Up beautifully, though, John Paul, on the power play.
They're going to play it inside. Here's Dawkins. He's going to move it into the left corner. McKenzie challenges. So does Sibbies. In the corner, Davidson and Ferguson. Here's another angle at it. He's going to receive it. It's going to just hop on the one bounce, and the half volley kick rushes it by Peter Mavlik to the far post, and it gave Cleveland that score. And that was a power play goal. You had to wonder how many power plays Pittsburgh could kill off in this one. They had done a good job previous to that, and actually that was near the end of that particular power play when they had done the job there. Shots on goal in the third quarter. Cleveland had 7 and Pittsburgh 2 shots on goal. That was it. But I remember Pittsburgh had a decent chance, a couple of them, in the box area. They didn't capitalize. Now they have one more quarter in which to do it. And don't forget, we'll be back here for game number 4. And if you'd like to purchase tickets for it, call 881-36 8-6 or 563-3890. If Game 5 is necessary, it's at the Civic Arena Sunday at 7 p.m. and good seats are available anytime tomorrow after 10 a.m. at all of the ticket outlets and noon at Civic Arena Gate 1.
Well, it's going to be up to you, John Paul. 15 minutes to go. We've got to get at least 3. We'd like to have 4. At the same time, if we can get something started offensively, you can't let down on defense and over-attack to the point where you give up a couple of cheapies, and we'll wait and see how long they wait before they might decide to take Peter Moblik out of goal and put maybe John O'Hara back there.
Here's a tactical change. Stevie Buttle is on this unit right now in place of Bob Bosmeyer. John Kowalski may mix the lines. Here's Ferguson. Right side to Brett Hall. Broken up. Stevie Buttle in there. He had 2 assists the other night, and he is the Spirit all-time leading scorer in the playoffs with now a total of 10 points, 6 goals, 4 assists, counting the 2 he had the other night. McKenzie on the right side. Pittsburgh, as John Sanders mentioned, needs 3 to tie. They trail 5-2, but there's all kinds of time remaining. Got to chip away one at a time and keep Cleveland off the board. Child, double team. McKenzie helps out on the right wing. Stevie Buttle knocks it back to Hagen. Dave Hagen leads it left wing off the boards for Child. Paul wanting to turn around. Dargle says no to that. Dargle kicks it away to McKenzie. Mack can't get a shot away, and Ferguson takes it to the side. Gets it around Kevin Moore. 2-on-2 on the run, Ferguson. Moblik challenges, got a piece of it. Nice save for Peter Moblik. And now Dave Hagen will pick it up. Moblik can't let anything by, John, at this point.
He had Furphy with him, but wasn't able to get the ball to him. And here's a guy with the ball that really hasn't been much of a factor. We thought he might. His name is David Hagen.
Usually good for, what, 2 goals a game on TV?
At least. And he just hasn't had many opportunities tonight.
Here's Furphy shooting it, blocked by Stevie Buttle. Furphy will get it right back. Plays it over to the far side. Dargle will have to be closed down. Marr after him. Dargle's blast is blocked by Marr, headed by McKenzie out of the zone. 5-2, Cleveland leading it. As Hall sends it, it goes into the crowd and out of play. And that will give Cleveland and Pittsburgh a chance, if they wish, to change up here, and that's what they're doing as we look at number 6, Dave Hagen. What a brilliant year he had. He had a total of 35 goals, tied with Sibby's for second place with the club scoring department. 5 power play goals, 4 game winners, and as a forward, still managed to block a team high for forwards, 25 shots. And there's a guy that can turn this game around, all in the power of his feet. Drago Dumbovic. He's on, along with Luis Alberto and Zeke Kapka. Topolsky and O'Hara, the defenders. This is Adam with the ball. Up the left wing for Drago. Marked by Michael Comey, turns him around. Drago brings it toward goal. A shot too high off the glass. It comes down to Kai Haskavy. 5-2, Cleveland on top. They attack. Right to left, Haskavy gives it away. Topolsky from Kapka. Adam brings it toward the middle. Backheels it for Luis Alberto. Luis, a former member of the Force, holding it. Plays it off the right wing boards for Topolsky. Adam along the near side. In trouble for the moment, trying to turn it away. Muscle by Tarnosian. A good job by Adam. He draws a foul, and it will give Pittsburgh a chance to set things up.
Other MISL playoff action tonight. Wichita and Los Angeles at halftime tied at 1-1.
Adam in the box. Alberto just missed it as he tried to slam it by Bernie James. That would have been a nice quick goal for Pittsburgh. Here's Kapka trying to get one back. Z in the corner, marked by Haskavy. Kapka still holding it, and they're going to call a foul. Haskavy just giving a little kick there to Kapka. Free kick for Pittsburgh. Luis Alberto, one of the league's finest in this kind of a situation. Goes off the boards. Kahn was the only one expecting it. Moves it outside, and Alberto steals it away.
Well, unfortunately, the 2 forwards were not expecting it. Neither of them made a move toward the ball.
Oh, it looked like it could have set up something, too. Michael Kahn said, I'll take it. If you guys don't want it, here's O'Hara. Back at the red line of Cleveland. John O'Hara used to play on this team when Pittsburgh took a year off. Here's Kapka off the boards, off Alberto's foot to the near side. Louis Nanchoff picks it up. Going back against Drago. Drago got a block on it, but Nanchoff takes the rest of the ball. Turns it around O'Hara. Johnny obstructed him.
Yep, he did. That was easy to see. Nanchoff was starting to break across the red line. O'Hara just used his body to move him off the ball.
It's actually a smart play, and Johnny's not arguing with that, or else Nanchoff could have broken free and gotten by him. And you'll see it here. There's Johnny. Didn't have a chance for the ball. Play the man in such fashion that you're not allowed to do. Just a foul for obstructing. 12:02 remaining. Fourth quarter. Look at how far out Vaccaro is. He's way out for a lead of Cleveland size, I think. Here's Furphy playing it. Stolen by Kapka. Taken right back by Peter Miller. And then it's Topolsky back to O'Hara. And Vaccaro, if you can believe this, is just getting back in a goal. That's how far out he was. Dumbovic now at the midfield line. Drago turning it inside on James. Right side, a shot, he scores! Drago Dumbovic from about 45 feet out, and Pittsburgh is right back in it.
Comes at 3:22. Dumbovic with a blistering shot. That brings some of the Pittsburgh fans to their feet. They're down in the far corner. They're almost in the dark here, but Dumbovic, his second goal of the night. Let's watch. As he gets the ball, Dumbovic against James. You see the speed as he turns James around and really rips it past Vaccaro.
He cut to the right, John, and he's going to take the shot, and it's going to go all the way to the left. Here is the run again on James. That's why Bernie doesn't like to have to play him. He's too quick, and he beats him to the far side.
Murphy may have screened his goalkeeper Vaccaro just a little bit because he had no chance at all. And now the Spirit back in it. We need one more, though.
Drago's goal is second of the playoffs at 3:22.
And Johnny O'Hara gets credit for the assist.
Drago had me so dazed I couldn't remember who passed him the ball.
Well, Drago really made the play. Johnny O got him the ball, but Drago just showing his great speed and the way he can change his speed sometimes.
Greg Ostalchik was not taking a shift for at least a couple of quarters, is back on. It's Marr playing it up the boards. Juan Sibby's broken up. Child ahead, a great save. Benny Dargo cleared a goal away off the line.
That may be the play of the night.
Here's Marr broken up. I think I couldn't argue with that, especially at this stage, John, because that makes it 5-4.
What a great header by Dargo. That one looked like it was going in.
Marr did the same thing on Saturday night, robbing, I can't recall which Cleveland player it was, but took it right off the line. Here's Marr going after it, left wing corner. Kevin puts on the brakes, wants some help, feeds. Ostalchik coming in late. He can't get a good shot away. Murphy dumped him. Here's Marr, drive, save, Vaccaro, a beauty. Sibby's will turn it back in. Miller dumps him. Let's call some fouls, guys. Here's one. Look at Sibby's. We're only seeing him from the back. I can see him from the side as well, and he's a little upset at his rough treatment.
Well, he has a black eye that you can't see.
I noticed that on the way over here.
Right.
McKenzie will put it in play, and Pittsburgh getting some momentum with two big saves, one by Dargo, the defender, one by Vaccaro, has kept Cleveland alive by a couple of goals. Here's Marr for Greg Ostalchik. Greg dribbling it, taken down by Peter Miller.
Could be a penalty.
There it is. Well, Greg, I think, stayed down long enough to help that. But Peter Miller will take a penalty, and this will give Pittsburgh a chance on a power play. They trail 5-3. Here it is, John.
You can see Miller come up, and as Ostalchik reverses, he just cuts him down from behind.
He had no chance for the ball. We go to a break. 5-3. Cleveland, you're watching Pittsburgh Spirit Soccer.
Dargle right in front to knock away the heading shot of Paul Child. Now watch the goalkeeper this time. Ball kicks loose. Should have been a call there. It wasn't. There's the shot, and there's the save.
That's an acrobatic save, and two quick replays by the people in the truck. Nice job. Actually, the truck here is what inside the building. That's how big this building is. Here's a power play for Pittsburgh. McKenzie with it on the right side.
And we need it too, John Paul.
Absolutely. Over to Vossmeyer. Bobby for Child. Knocked over to the far side for Dumbovic. Pittsburgh has one goal in the power play. Drago's first goal of the night.
You can see who is marking Drago.
McKenzie off the boards, and Vaccaro got that. It was right at him. Vaccaro wants to settle down. Now he throws long, but Drago is there to head it. Brett Hall and Bernie James get too close together, but James will get the ball. Nice play, as it turns out, for Bernie James, who's a very strong defender.
And he's so physical that you can't take the ball away from him by pushing him. There's just no way. All you're going to do is get a call.
James will put it in play with Brett Hall. Off the boards, it went off Kapka, it looked like, and out of play. John Kowalski going with the same lineup that he used the other night. One exception, Luis Alberto dressing in place of Marcio Leite. All other players that played the other night or dressed the other night are dressed. Erhard Kapp not taking a shift yet, but he's out there on the Spirit bench.
10,383 in attendance, and I'm sure they're pleased with that because they only had about 7,500 tickets sold as of this afternoon.
Ball played in by McKenzie to Child. The turnaround, Kapka was looking for it, and it's kicked up into the crowd. Pittsburgh on a power play. They'll have another minute and 10. This could be a very big goal if they can get one here. It would put them to within one with probably over 9 minutes to go. As it is now, we've got 9:39.
And still a minute 10 in the penalty, so there's time.
McKenzie with it. Still anybody's game. Don't go away. It's played to Drago. Drago off the boards for Child in front. Kapka. Score! Z. Kapka off the boards. On a nice feed all around. Drago, Dumbovic, and Paul Child helping out. And Pittsburgh is within one on a power play.
Oh, they needed it so very much. second assist for Paul Child. He set it up beautifully to Kapka, who gets his second goal of the playoffs. And it comes at an opportune time. Here it is again. It comes at 4:27. Dvobovic started it. Child then managed to get the ball to Kapka, and he put it in.
That was not, Cleveland will call a timeout. That was not a hard shot, John. It went in off the goalpost. We're going to look at it again. And let's see. I don't know if Vaccaro has a legitimate shot at this or not. Let's see. He's reacting late there.
It hit the goal.
Good roll
goalpost and ran in. That's what was the key. I think it was by him anyway, even if it doesn't. So with 9:33 to go, we're back in it. It's the Force 5, the Spirit 4. This is Pittsburgh Spirit Soccer.
Della Camera back live along with John Sanders. 5-4, Cleveland leading it, but they had led it at one point 5-2. Tribute once more to the character of the Pittsburgh Spirit. They never quit even though the penalties were going against them, and their composure could have been lost. They've stayed alive, and they're down by 1, and they've got some pressure on Cleveland now, John.
Well, it was Kapka and Child teaming up for that goal after Dvobovic and O'Hara had teamed up to make it 5-3. At 3:22 and then at 4:29, so just a minute and 7 seconds later, they put it in the net again. They got the call on the penalty. That certainly helped because Miller was out when the power play goal was scored. Second one of the night. That is a good sign. Both penalties resulted in goals for the Spirit. So now, John Paul, we've got 9:33 to go. We've still got some work to do.
Benny Dargle with the ball on the left wing for Ferguson. Broken up. Erhard Kapp's first shift of the night. Possibly a sign that Adam Topolsky a bit tired. We knew that going into the game. Or maybe John Kowalski just using everybody on the bench because he's gone with everyone now. Erhard, the last player that had not played. Into the corner now for Vossmeyer. Broken up by Brett Hall. Hall stolen away. Erhard Kapp with a nice play, but it comes back to Vaccaro.
Could be that John Kowalski wants some fresh legs out there for a while anyway. See what happens in the next 2 or 3 minutes. Could be very critical. If you have a letdown at this point, the next goal could be the one that really determines what's going to happen in this game.
Vaccaro upfield. O'Hara got a piece of it away from Furphy. That one stays in play. I thought it was going out. Hagen off the board. Stopped by Vaccaro. And he'll be looking to throw to someone.
Trevor Dawkins anxiously trying to get Vaccaro to move it upfield quicker rather than holding the ball back in the goal mouth.
Hagen and Furphy hold each other. It's played back to Peter Mavlik. Got to remember a couple of saves, nice ones that Peter made, or else maybe Pittsburgh doesn't have a chance. Here's Vossmeyer in the attack zone. Cuts wide to the left. He's got a chance. Save Vaccaro. It just went by Erhard Kapp. Will come in after it. It's too bad that ball could have been a little bit closer. He might have had a chance to slam it home. Here's O'Hara from Kapp for Stevie Buttle. Buttle will settle things down to Vossmeyer. It's a pretty veteran unit out there with a couple of exceptions for Pittsburgh. O'Hara, Buttle, and now Alberto is on as well. Here's Luis. Didn't get that pass quite the way he wanted. Shot it off the boards wide. Tell you, this game, a game of inches.
Alberto was in a good spot that time. If he could have gotten the pass where he could handle it, he might have been able to do something with it.
Absolutely. Here's Luis now with the ball. He's a magician with that ball. Plays it on the left. Hagen strikes it. Headed out by Brett Hall. Cleveland panicking in their own zone. Hagen in front. Kapp can't shoot. Alberto hit the goalpost.
I thought that was the tying goal off the foot of Luis Alberto, but look at the job that Hagen's doing.
I was even going to let you call that one. Here's O'Hara coming in for Sibbies. The give and go, and it's behind John O'Hara. But you can see it. Cleveland panicking. Here's Alberto a drive, and that's wide. Furphy wanting to settle it down. They've already called their timeout, John, so they can't call another one.
And you can hear the reaction of the crowd. They can't believe it. They're exhorting their players to move it up out of their zone. They haven't been able to do it.
Here's McKenzie from O'Hara. Mack cuts it to the right side. Looks, drops it off for Kapka. The big Z with it. The team's unsung hero. Looking to sing right here. Here's Kapka trying to lay it off. Doesn't get a good ball away. Marr has to win it, and he does. Great hustle. On the left, this is McKenzie playing it for Sibbies. Ian trying to hold the ball, then gives it up. McKenzie in the corner, tie it up. But he's strong. He'll pass it back out. Sibbies will take it. Ian about 50 feet away. Moves it closer. Inches closer. Has two players on him. Looks for the open man, finds him in Kevin Marr.
Got to keep the movement up inside that box area. Can't slow down and stop.
Tough steal there. Furphy. Lead ball for Ferguson. They have Marr turn the other way. The pass, though, not a good one. Ferguson off the boards. Marr recovers well. Here's Alberto. Great time to counter. Cleveland slow on the line change. Sibbies in the attack zone. Kapka free for Z. The shot off the board. Save. Another drive. Save Vaccaro. Oh, it's Pittsburgh putting on some pressure. Marr plays it back to McKenzie at the midfield line.
And give Vaccaro some credit. He came up big twice. Kapka had good attempts, good shots. He was in good position, just couldn't beat him.
Tarnozzi with a flip. Not enough on it. Ostalchik wins it. Sibby's right side. Trying to take it around Dargle. Good defensive play by Benny Dargle.
Well, we've seen Dargle do it a couple of times. He does it there. Bodies everywhere.
I'll tell you what, if they called a penalty on that one, I think you could have put the lights out of the building. John Kowalski would have been ready to fly over the bench.
Great saving tackle, though, by Ian Sibbies. Just watch it. Dargle gets it around. Now, look, two men going for it. That's all Sibbies can do. He clears them out. Now we'll set it up and start it over again.
All right, here are the Force. On the right side, 5-4. Pittsburgh needs one to tie. Around the boards intended for Haskavy. Cleveland kind of gave up on it. Pittsburgh with the ball, the momentum, everything but the lead. They need a goal. Here's Mack. Brings it over the midfield line. Sends it in for Child. Good flick for Ostalchik, but just not enough on it. Looked like it was going to be right there. Dumbovic with a nice play to keep it in. For Child, back for Drago.
Great pass by Paul Child to get it back to Dumbovic, and nothing called.
Drago's got to come back. Here's Manshaw.
He can't stop him and worry about it.
O'Hara for McKenzie. Now back for John O'Hara.
Was that a beautiful pass by Child? He used the board, went right back to the middle to Dumbovic. Dumbovic thought he should have been fouled, or thought he was fouled in there. And he stopped to argue with the officials.
And he probably was. He was probably held back. But Pittsburgh cannot take a penalty, especially one that's an unsportsmanlike conduct. Child was going after that ball. That's why the crowd doesn't like him here, because he's a great hustler.
Keep in mind, these teams have been in overtime 4 times, including the first game of the season, which was a shootout.
I don't know if my heart is ready for a shootout. On the left, here's Haskavy.
Well, let's get the tie first.
Into Mavlik, he knocks it down. Peter looking for the ball, kicked away from him by Nanshaw. I thought they'll call that, and they did call it a dangerous play. I mean, the guy had his feet right up there.
Well, the ball wouldn't come off the boards.
I was going to call it. Not that I have any say in it.
I think you did call it.
I did, didn't I? Here's Cap to O'Hara. 5-4. Pittsburgh needs one to tie. 4:22 left in regulation time. John O'Hara with it. The character of the Spirit team showing. Greg Ostalchik marked by Kai Haskavy. Here's Greg playing it back out to Drago Dumbovic. Drago teasing him. Plays it, gets it back in a give and go. He's got room. Right side off the boards. Vaccaro can't get it. Child, a shot. Score! Oh, and he waved it off. Gino DiPolito waved it off.
Wow.
This I got to see.
I don't believe it.
I thought maybe he'd say dangerous play, and I would have argued that. I think he said holding.
Turning, shooting, and scoring. Now, where's the call?
Oh, I'm almost speechless, but I can't be. There's 3:54 to go. I think Pittsburgh got robbed again in this building. On the right side, Brett Hall trying to bring it through. Mavlik will stop that one. Well, Pittsburgh can't let it affect them. That goal is wiped out. It's not going to be a happy Spirit dressing room if they lose this, partially because of that. Child down the right side to O'Hara. Johnny in the attack zone. Pulls up. Cuts it for Cap. Try to knock it back. Got a little spin on it. Bangs it off the boards. Headed, but just wide by Hagen. That would have been a spectacular play. Now on the right side, Nanchop down to 3:20. Over to Kai Haskavy. James overlapping wide on the right. It's played up to Nanchop on the left. Louis Nanchop knocked away from him. He's going to get it back almost, but Cap is there. Up for Vossmeyer. Broken up, but Earhart Cap right back with it. Earhart leads it into the corner. Vossmeyer and James go for it. Bobby was obstructed, you'd have to say. And the crowd doesn't agree, but Bernie James just lunged forward to get that. I think he made a smart play, but he got caught for it. Free kick Pittsburgh. Earhart Cap comes over and takes a timeout. I'd still like to better understand why the goal was disallowed. Maybe we'll find out. We're going to take our final break anyway. At this point, don't go away. If you stay with us this far, 5-4 Cleveland, and you're watching Pittsburgh Spirit Soccer.
The goal that John Paul and I, the non-goal that John Paul and I have been discussing, Dumbovic sets it up. Watch as he uses the board. He moves it in front. Now Child is there. He's got a man marking him. He spins off. That's James. Shoots and scores. It hit the goalpost and goes in.
What the other side of the press box is saying, no announcement was ever made. They're saying that Child pushed, they think, because no announcement was ever made. You had a chance to look at it on the replay. Both guys are going for the ball. I don't feel the Child pushed enough to warrant a goal off there. Looked like they were both going for the ball. The fact that James went down is actually what caused the penalty. But from up here, I didn't see it as something that you would call right there to stop play.
Well, it looks like Bernie James was just using his body, which he does very, very well against Paul Child. Child was able to get away from him. Whether or not he pushed, you couldn't tell from that angle. It did not appear that he pushed James.
2:57 remaining. Fourth quarter. It's down to 1 goal, folks. 5-4, Cleveland leading it. Game 4 here Friday night, 8 o'clock.
O'Hara is on
as the 6th attacker. No goalkeeper. Mavlik is pulled. Kapka, Hagen, Dumbovic, Child, and Sibbies. It's a lot of firepower. Sibbies on the free kick. Back heel. Kapka off the glass. It goes wide. Hagen holding it. Plays it back to O'Hara. Johnny at the red line. Knocks it ahead for Dave Hagen. Pittsburgh playing without a goalkeeper. They can't lose the ball. It's going back to O'Hara. Johnny on the right side. Zeke Kapka wanting to penetrate. Back to O'Hara. Knocked into the corner for Hagen. A shot deflected into the crowd by Bernie James. Corner kick, Pittsburgh.
James with a header. Keeps the ball away. The Spirit setting up. Now, O'Hara is technically the goalkeeper.
That's it in a nutshell. He is the goalkeeper. He can use his hands, but only in the box. Same privileges as a goalkeeper. Here's Sibbies to Hagen, a drive, he scores on a corner kick. It's tied at 5. So Dave Hagen, John Sanders, comes through in the clutch, and a 5-2 Cleveland lead goes by the boards.
And that'll get the goalkeeper back out. It comes at 12 minutes and 24 seconds. A beautifully set up play. Sibbies to Hagen, and Dave Hagen able to get his 3rd goal of the playoffs. We said, where has Hagen been? Oh, right here. He's been waiting for this moment to tie it up. Don't go away. What did we say? 4 of the games this year were 6-5 final scores. 4 of the games went to overtime. 1 to a shootout. And guess what the score is right now? 5-5. What else would you expect, right?
I don't know. You ready for this? I don't know. What a great game, though, to televise back in the Pittsburgh area. Don't forget, Game 4 is here Friday night. If you want tickets for that, call 881-3686 or 563-3890. And tickets on sale for Game 5 if that's necessary. Sunday at the Civic Arena. I can't believe anybody would want to miss a game between these two clubs. Michael Kahn with the ball, 5-5, 2.5 left. Long ball played into Peter Mavlik.
I'm not sure about that effort by Kahn. He simply drove the ball down to Peter Mavlik.
That's called a waste. A wasted play, a giveaway. Here's Dumbovic. Over to Louis Nanshaw. Win it or lose, at least Pittsburgh won't lose it on that controversial goal that was called off, though. Here's Drago. After stealing it, tried to split the defense. Broken up, but he doesn't quit on it.
He got it back. He made the good play to get it back to Cap.
Here's Earhart with it, holding it. John Kowalski has used the bench extremely well this game. Credit should be given to him for getting Pittsburgh back into it, as well as the guys on that field. They're doing it. Here's Mavlik, 5-5 tie. At one point, it was 5-2. Cleveland was leading it. Actually, it was that at the start of the quarter. Pittsburgh 3 unanswered goals. Mavlik to Cap. Back to Peter Mavlik. 1:40 to go. Regulation time. John O'Hara with it. For Cap, and back to O'Hara. Johnny looking for Kapka. Z along the far boards, trying to turn it inside of Louis Nanshaw. What a battle that is. Both players actually are pushing off. Foul on Kapka. Cleveland with the ball. There's a look at the big Z. And now Vaccaro moves it right to Bernie James. Back to Vaccaro. You can see once Pittsburgh got 1 goal, Cleveland started to panic, and it was only a matter of time before they would get one. And there's another panic move, just like the Michael Kahn giveaway, as that ball was shot away into the crowd, and it's a free kick for Pittsburgh. They are by far the better team at this stage of the game than Cleveland. But all it takes is 1 goal either side. Here's Drago. Tipping it free in the corner. Sibby's got a piece of it with Bernie James. Great turnaround.
Well, it should have been a call on James,
yeah,
knocking Sibby's down.
But the usual play on, it seems. Here's Davidson trying to knock it back. Almost lost it to Dumbovic. Up off the boards. Tarnowski got free. Mavlik, though, is way out. He read it well. Upfield for O'Hara, headed away by Davidson. Now Earhart Cap will play it back to Peter Mavlik in his own box area. 35 seconds left in regulation time. Kapka for Dumbovic. Chips it ahead, Sibbies. Kapka free on the left. Back for Ian Sibbies on the right wing. James goes down off the boards for Kapka. He headed it wide. Tough break. Drago broken up by Louis Nanchoff.
And Drago didn't get anything on that one.
And they got a foul called.
And now they're throwing something on the field.
Tell you what, that's a tough break. Kapka was open in the box for a header. 17 seconds left in regulation time. Christopher Carroll with the ball. 5-5. Up for Louis Nanchoff on the left wing side. This is Bernie James at the midfield line, around the boards on the near side. Davidson holding it, sending it in. Bosmeyer gets to the ball as the horn sounds. And it's all going to go in a sudden death overtime, meaning, John Sanders, that the next goal is the game winner. If nobody scores it in 15 minutes, then we go to the famous shootout. So it's 5-5. We know if you've stayed with us this long, you're not going away now. 5-5, back for sudden death overtime in just a moment. You are watching Pittsburgh Spirit Soccer.
2 lead at the beginning of the fourth quarter disappear. The Spirit tying it up on goals by Drago Dumbovic, Z. Kapka, and finally, with 2 minutes and 36 seconds left in the game, it was Dave Hagen with the tying goal. So an excellent job in that third quarter for the Pittsburgh Spirit. Let's go back and take a look at what happened. John Paul, I told you it was up to you in the fourth quarter. I give you credit. You came through. You got 3 of them in the net right behind that man, Chris Vaccaro, and this is the way it started.
Here's one of the guys that gets the credit. Watch Drago. What a shot from about 45 feet out. He beat Bernie James to the inside. That goal, more than anything, John, was a downer for Cleveland. We saw them start to panic after that. And I think you probably did as well, that it was a matter of time that Pittsburgh would get chances if they could make them count. Here they're going to make it count again.
On the power play, they were able to make this one count. Again, it's Dumbovic involved in it. But watch the play by Child. Spinning it to Kapka, off the post and in. That's the one that made it 5-4. It was the power play goal. But as you mentioned, that might have been the key. They were able to convert for the second consecutive time. It came at 5:27.
You got it.
Then, on the corner kick, the Spirit had it set up beautifully. And it's Ian Civies who will put the ball in play for Pittsburgh. He'll set up Dave Hagen. And I asked the question earlier, where has Hagen been? Well, he came back.
This is Drago shooting one that stopped. This is the goal that was disallowed.
Right.
We saw Bernie James going down. Look at the Spirit think that it's in, and then they're going to turn. There's Cap turning to find out what we found out.
Well, that was one tying goal.
That's right.
That was not allowed. Hagen and Civies teaming up for the one that did tie the game and put us where we are in overtime. There's the shot. Getting through a big crowd in front. I'm amazed that it got through, but it did. 5-5. And I'll tell you what, the final tonight will also be 6-5.
Question is, who's going to have 6? I think John Kowalski, I got to say again, did a real good job in putting out these players. He made some switches at key times, put on some fresh troops at the right time, called a good timeouts, and Pittsburgh is back in it. But it's a reflection of the team and the character once more. They don't quit, and that's why they're back in it. Child, Hagen, Vosmeyer, Marr, and McKenzie for the Pittsburgh Spirit. Davidson, Ferguson, Hall, Miller, and Dargle. Cleveland taking on more of a defensive look. They actually have 4 players out there who played as defenders at one time. Here's Child, tripped up in the play. Play going on. Vosmeyer after. Now it's Peter Miller. Cleveland will attack right side to left. Pittsburgh left to right.
And also Ferguson is on, I believe, over there on the far side. That's the first time we've seen him in a regular type situation. He's worked the power plays, but that's all.
Normally a regular. He had a bruised heel, and he's been out of the lineup for a bit. Here's Vic Davidson. Now picked up Benny Dargle.
Dargle has made some great defensive plays tonight.
He's a solid defender back there. That's really where Cleveland improved a great deal over last year. Right in their back line. Here's Peter Mavlik on the left side to Bob Vosmeyer.
And how do we get to a shootout? Well, if we play 15 minutes and nobody scores, then it'll be a shootout.
Peter Mavlik with it. Long ball upfield. Didn't make 3 lines, which is a good thing. Up for Hagen. He's bumped off the ball, but as you said, John, it's pretty tough to keep him away from it. He stayed right with it for Vosmeyer. Back for Hagen around the boards for Child. Kicked away from him upfield for Vic Davidson. We're in sudden death overtime. Tied at 5, 13:54 to go in the overtime session. Back for Benny Dargle. Left wing, it's Ferguson. Drew Ferguson holding it. Playing it back for Chris Vaccaro. And Vaccaro will bring it up slowly. Ever so slowly. Child now putting some pressure on. The ball played into the near boards for Vic Davidson. Now it's Peter Miller.
And as you would expect, these teams were even in the overtime games. They played 4 overtime games. It was 2-2. Each team won 2 in overtime. The Spirit's record 4-7 in overtime. Cleveland 4-2 in overtime. That's regular season. This is the first overtime of the playoffs for these teams.
And like you said earlier at the start of the broadcast, you can throw out all the records, and especially now you're down to a maximum of 15 minutes before a shootout. Next goal wins it, and this is the pivotal game. Whoever wins this one will force the other team to win the next two or lose the series. Here's Marr from Mavlik. Up the right side for McKenzie. Doesn't take a good bounce for Mack, and Miller will take it.
Came off the boards a little too hard for Dave that time.
Here's Dargel on the overlap. Getting it. Vosmeyer coming in, shot off the boards. Mavlik with a save. Couldn't get the rebound of it. Now Vosmeyer in there battling. Bobby playing it tough along those boards. So is Dargel, and they're going to call a foul on Pittsburgh. Free kick for Cleveland. Dargel will be putting it in play, and everybody has to mark up for the Spirit. 5-5, sudden death overtime, 12:38 left. Dargel in front, headed up by Kevin Marr. That shot was heading toward goal from here, it looked like. Here's Louis Nanchoff going right side, off the boards. Marr got a piece of it. Davidson, a shot blocked by Kevin Marr. And it goes into the crowd off a deflection.
It went off Kevin Marr.
Yep.
Dargel again coming to the rescue, got a foot on it, put it out of play.
This is going to be interesting now. Pittsburgh putting out a great offensive unit as we look at this replay. Now, Peter would have been out of position there, John, if that ball came back to Davidson.
But Kevin Marr got just enough of it. And you can see Dargel just beginning to deflect the ball off the body of Kevin Marr and out of play. This is the offensive matchup here, no question about it. Hoskevy is on.
You think both sides one-handed early?
Oh, I think they do.
Here's Sibbies with Dumbovic and Kapka, and Hoskevy, their big guy out for Cleveland. Here's Bernie James on the right side, Michael Kahn. Being chased back by Dumbovic, forced it back to Chris Vaccaro. 5-5 tie. Sudden death overtime. Vaccaro up the boards, or up the middle, I'm sorry, to Tarnozzi. Now to the boards area. Louis Nanchoff. In deeper for Hoskevy. Cap on him. That's a physical matchup. Along the near wing side, Sibbies wins it for O'Hara. Back to Erhard Cap, and they're going to call a foul anyway on the forced Louis Nanchoff. And Cap plays it right back to Peter Mavlik. Over on the right side, here's Cap, who came on for Topolsky. Adams had a rough night. He's been tired. His wife gave birth at about 8 a.m. this morning. He was up all night and had a very sluggish start. Louis Nanchoff with Dumbovic on him. Two Yugoslavian players. Here's Louis Nanchoff getting to the middle. Looks for Hoskevy. O'Hara on him. A shot high. Comes back out. Sibbies heading it back for Kapka. Oh, it's going to be a dangerous play, and it is, on Tarnozzi. His foot was up, way up.
So the Spirit with the opportunity. Most of the play so far has been at midfield. If anything, Cleveland has probably had the better opportunities thus far, although nothing really. A good battle, though, between Nanchoff and Dumbovic. The ball coming down, and you always hate it when Hoskevy gets it around that box area because he can really do strange things with it.
He's the guy you don't want to even touch the ball in this stage. Here's Kapka on the left, broken up by Tarnozzi, but Sibbies got it. He had Dumbovic open. He had too much on the ball.
Actually, I think Ian made a wrong choice. Kapka kept coming, and if he'd have gone, here's a break.
Here's Tarnozzi, pulls the goalkeeper, but Mavlik cut down the angle. Here's a shot, saved by Erhard Cap. He saved the game. Kapka coming back. Erhard Cap saved the game for the Pittsburgh Spirit. Sibbies now with the lead ball. Bernie James puts it back to Vaccaro. Mavlik made a great play to force Tarnozzi wide. He had to do it, but the net was empty. Here's Dumbovic from Sibbies. Back for Ian. He cuts inside. Oh, save by Vaccaro.
I love it. Beautiful play by Vaccaro. Looked like Sibbies had the winner. We've had one at each end now.
Here's Bernie James. John, they're going to have to carry us out of the building, you and I. Here's Hoskevy on the right. Tarnozzi, save Peter Mavlik, and he pounces on it. Over on the right side for Erhard Cap. Erhard. Whoa, look at this. They're going to call that one on Cleveland.
They went against Nanchoff. It's obstruction. Louis going to rest hurt for a while.
Oh, it'll give us a chance to catch our breath.
Huh.
You know, when I saw Tarnozzi break, I think it was Hoskevy, wasn't it, that hit him with the ball?
Right.
I mean, that's a perfect pass, but Mavlik sees it, so he comes out and he cuts the angle. This is it.
There it is.
It is Hoskevy. Look, he's behind the defense. Mavlik, if he doesn't come out now, he gives him no angle. But watch the shot. Peter's gone. He's out of position.
Keep your eye on Cap on the left side.
First it hit O'Hara, then it hit Cap. We got the wrong guy. Or
Right.
I got the wrong guy.
Johnny O.
I don't want to pull you down with me.
Well, let's go this way, though. Watch the play. Dumbovic to Sibbies.
I thought it was
Sibbies
over.
will beat his man. This looks like a winner here.
I thought it was
Vaccaro
over.
with the left hand just got it, and we're still playing.
I thought it was over in that one. I really did. More so than on the other one where Tarnozzi broke, even though he was free. I did see Mavlik come out. Here's Louis Nanchoff slowly getting up.
What a great game this has been.
It's your typical Pittsburgh-Cleveland game. I know you're a football fan, and we keep equating it to the Steelers-Browns rivalry. I think the fans sense that as well. During the regular season, the average attendance in both buildings, 13,000 plus when these two clubs met. Here it is again.
One of the biggest crowds I know you've ever been involved in. There's the call as he went in and went after. Cap was here when they had over 19,000. Spirit won that game 6-4. That 2-goal victory was the difference, really, in the number of goals for the season. There was only one goal that separated the two teams this season, and Pittsburgh had that edge by 1 goal.
Only one goal, we are sure, will separate the two teams tonight. It's sudden death, and it's 5-5. Dumbovic in for Sibbies, back for Drago. Drago trying to make it go, stolen by Brett Hall. Here he comes over midfield. Hall slowed down a bit by Vosmeyer, gives it up for Peter Miller. Miller knocking it on a reverse to the left side for Ferguson. Ferguson double team. Vosmeyer knocked that away. Ferguson knocking it down for Brett Hall. Vosmeyer giving him the chase. Played back to Benny Dargle. Up the middle for Ferguson. Cap knocks him down. Foul. Cleveland putting it back in play. Miller.
Ferguson looking for a penalty. Is going to be tough to get one here, I would think.
In overtime, I would say. Here's Davidson along the near boards, marked by O'Hara. To Benny Dargle, now to Peter Miller. Back the other way, Vosmeyer stealing it. Leads it ahead, but it's going to be off the mark, and Hall will turn it back for the force. Cuts to the inside. Brett Hall, broken up by Ian Sibbies. Play on, says the official. Now Dargle gets it right back. Dargle pushing it right side, Davidson. Broken up for the moment. Here's a Davidson shot blocked by his own man, Dargle. Look at Vosmeyer. What calm play, and Bobby tried to lead Dumbovic, but it was just off the mark. John Kowalski begging Dumbovic to get over there.
They also had Erhard Cap breaking down that far side. Now he goes off. Dumbovic goes off. Child back on. The team's changing on the fly here.
John wants fresh troops out there, figuring a rested Paul Child is better than a tired Dumbovic, and he's right. Free kick for Cleveland coming up. Peter Miller.
We played over 5 minutes now of this overtime period.
9:08 left. Here's Brett Hall. Left-footed shot, high and wide, is coming up into the box. Bobbitt's going to catch it.
Did you see Peter that time? Said, get out of my way. I'm going to take control of this ball.
Total concentration. Here's Hagen. Coming back. Cuts to the left. A shot off the boards. Nobody picking it up as a trailer. Here's Peter Miller. Coming right back. Off the boards. This is Vic Davidson. Cutting wide for Peter Miller. Right in front off Marr, and now it's Hagen. By the way, the reason there was no trailer was Vosmeyer was playing as a defender to catch somebody who has not come back. We've got a foul in Pittsburgh. Again, Pittsburgh cannot lose the composure here. They've done well to be still in the game. They were down 5-2, one of the better comebacks of the year as we look at the foul.
Especially when you consider they had a goal waved off that looked like the tying goal, but they still came back and tied the game.
And that can be a backbreaker when a goal is waved off. Here's Peter Miller. Neutral zone. 5-5 in sudden death overtime. McKenzie blocks it back to Mavlik. Here's Peter. Up and throwing long. He wants Child. Child pushed down by Dargle.
They called it.
I'll tell you, if that wasn't overtime, they'd be calling a penalty. I think John Kowalski even wanted what they also consider to be a shootout situation, because if Child had broken free, he would have had a breakaway. But on the replay, it doesn't look as close because the two players look pretty even. Here's Marr, back live, right side to Child. Paul Child holding it in a 5-5 tie, sends it off the far boards for Hagen. Hagen with a man on him, broken up, but he drew the foul.
That was Michael Kalm. Well, Michael's played well. He's got some size, 6'1". He's tall. He's tough to get around sometimes. You can see he's much taller than Hagen.
Vosmeyer in for Child. The turnaround shot, not enough to the near side to curve it in. But he made a nice play to even get a shot toward goal. Here's Vaccaro. Tossing it upfield. Kapka with a good block defensively. The big Z right side to Kevin Marr, knocked back to Dave McKenzie. Hagen, Kapka, and Child, the unit out there now for Pittsburgh. On the right side, Kevin Marr holding it. Right corner, off the boards. It trickles. Knocked away by Vaccaro, and Furphy just sends it out. McKenzie on his horse to get it. 5-5, sudden death overtime. 7:33 remaining in the only overtime session we'll have. If no one scores a goal, it goes to the shootout. Mavlik up by the red line. Off the boards, wanted Kapka. It's going to be broken up. Tarnozzi leads for Haskavy. Over in the left wing, Furphy. Keith Furphy going wide. Takes a shot. Right foot save by Mavlik. Marr broken up in a corner. He's double teamed. Haskavy looking in front for Tarnozzi. Blocked. Tarnozzi chasing it back down at the red line. to Michael Kong. In a corner, McKenzie wins a nice ball.
Great play by McKenzie. Used his speed to get around his man in the corner and come up with the ball.
Used his brain first because he read that play. Vaccaro's way out. Off the boards, Moore may intercept it. They wanted to catch Vaccaro coming back for Hagen. David got around Furphy. Hagen into the attacking zone right there.
4 on 3.
Hagen in the box area. Kapka reversed it wide off a deflection. Looked like a nice setup, or a potential nice setup for the Spirit. Here's Hagen with it. 6:35 remaining in sudden death overtime, tied at 5. McKenzie on the right for Zeke Kapka. Kapka cutting it. Takes a left-footed shot blocked by Furphy. Out to McKenzie. This crowd getting their money's worth and more tonight. Mack lobs it. Kapka, the header was wide. Over on the near side, McKenzie wants it off the boards, and it will go that way, but up into the crowd.
You know, several times tonight we've seen Furphy trying to backpedal, to retreat, and he hasn't really been able to do it that well. He can be beat when he's going in the other direction. That time, though, he cut back at the right angle and made the save.
That's a mismatch that Pittsburgh would like to have 9 out of 10 times, because you'll get there. It's tough when you have a forward that does not go well both ways. A guy like Haskavy, it's not that bad of a mismatch. He might win the ball on strength, smarts, or just skill. All right, Pittsburgh going with Bosmeyer, Dumbovic, Sibbies, Cap, and O'Hara. Earhart has played well when he's come in for Topolsky. In fact, he's played better than Adam, because Adam had a tough night, a sleepless night, but we congratulate Adam and his wife Ulla, parents of a new son, David Topolsky. The ball played in now.
Let's give Earhart Cap some credit, too. It's not easy to come off after you've sat for 3 quarters and play as well as he did. He was very active with the ball, helped put some pressure on, and definitely helped get the Spirit back in this game.
And he had not played in this series. Sat out the first 2, dressed for the third game. Dressed for the third game, but did not play. Dressed for the second game, I'm sorry, but did not play. This is only the third game. Seems like we've had a couple games tonight. Here's Sibbies.
Well, the thing about it is it's the 9th game between these two teams.
Look out for Drago. Can he turn? Leaves it off for Sibbies. Toward the middle. In a corner, O'Hara sends it high and wide. It goes out of play.
Johnny did not really have a shot out of that corner, John Paul, and he really didn't have anybody in front, because Dumbovic had also slipped back along with Sibbies. Both of them were out of the box. So even if that hadn't gone over the glass, the Force would have gotten control of the ball.
I think he wanted to play it safe, put it toward goal so that he could retreat, because he was caught deep. This is Chris Vaccaro. 5:25 remaining in sudden death overtime. Vaccaro with it. Long ball headed away by Earhart Cap, and it goes out of play. Free kick for Cleveland. As soon as the ball comes back. 5-5 in sudden death. The last 3 goals unanswered for Pittsburgh. Dumbovic, Kapka, and Hagen with a tire.
You won't believe it, but I just saw 3 people leave.
I saw the same thing. I thought I was seeing things. Sibby's tripped up by Brett Hall, and Pittsburgh does get the call. Cap with it. Playing it back now to Peter Mavlik. Chased by Davidson. Up the far side. He wanted Sibby's. Dargle says no for Davidson. Davidson has Dargle. Can't get a shot off. Now he does. Blocked by O'Hara. Dargle pushing it out to Miller. Peter Miller with Sibby's on him. Miller in the corner for Ferguson. Off the boards. Davidson in late. A shot from Miller deflected wide. Bosmeyer kicks it out of there. Dargle smashing it down on the bounce, but Mavlik is right there.
And that's not as easy as it looks.
No,
either.
it isn't.
You never really know which way that ball is going to bounce.
It's a little scary.
Has a lot of spin on it when it comes in there, because it's spinning when the foot goes on it, so you're not real sure what kicking it is going to do to the spin on the ball.
4.5 left in sudden death. 5-5 tie. Cap pushed a bit by Furphy. Play on. Good call by Gino DiPolito.
Yeah, pushed a bit. Both hands.
It's a mild push for this game. Ball dumped into the corner. Bosmeyer after Miller wins it back to Vaccaro. Vaccaro ready to throw it for Furphy, who snuck behind. Cap after it. Good play defensively by Earhart Cap.
And he got the ball.
Dumbovic now broken up.
Oh, that should have been a call.
Haskavy. But Marr sends it back the other way.
They really let him play in the overtime, as you're seeing. There's a lot of bumping, a lot of banging.
That's going to be a 3-line pass, too, John. Just made it. Off of Kevin Marr. So there's a free kick coming up. And it will be Cleveland's ball with 4 minutes and a second left. 4:01 in sudden death. Tied at 5. Miller for Haskavy. Lobs it in for Furphy. Shot blocked by Marr. Kevin Marr kicked it while he was flat on his back. Cleared it out. Dargle for Haskavy. Cap on him. Haskavy wants to spin. A shot wide. Cap did not give him a good shot. Bosmeyer up the boards for Hagen. David looking to get by on the right side. Dargle after him. Dargo pressuring him in the corner. Hagen came up.
I don't believe it.
They're going to call it on Hagen. Wow. That's like an offensive foul in basketball. Here's Marr. Look at this, John. On his back, he kicked it out.
Great play by Kevin Marr to clear the ball out of there. And the Force has really had the pressure on here of late. Spirit not able to control the ball offensively and really get anything going.
Askew back to Michael Kahn. 3:25 in sudden death. Long ball. Vosmeyer heads it down for Stevie Buttle. John Kowalski going to the veterans. Vosmeyer broken up by Kahn. Shot blocked. Another shot header. Score by Tarnowski. Cleveland will win it in sudden death overtime. And the building has erupted. What do they have? Maybe 3 chances to put it home. And finally, and we'll probably see it again, Tarnowski headed it in. I was waiting to see if it would be waved off, if perhaps there was a foul, but there was none. Look at the scene down below. Cleveland has won it in sudden death overtime. Here it is, John.
The ball goes into the corner. Vosmeyer heads it back, but he doesn't get it out. Now, Buttle comes off the ball. Vosmeyer loses it. That was the key play by Kahn. He kept it in front. There's one attempt. Finally, the header goes in. Tarnowski will get the goal, and credit Michael Kahn. He made the steal that really set up the winner in overtime. 6-5 for Cleveland. A great game, a tough one for the Spirit to lose. But I think they showed everybody a lot of something by coming back. One more time, the Spirit had a chance to control it right here. Bob hesitated, did not want to go back to the goalkeeper. That's when he lost the ball. There's the first shot, the second one. Finally, the header is scored by number 21, Alex Tarnowski.
To say the very least, John, it is a tough way to lose a game. There will be a game 4, though, coming up Friday night right here in the same building. And we'll be back, I guess, to tell you what happened after this. Cleveland has defeated Pittsburgh in overtime 6-5. You've been watching Pittsburgh Spirit Soccer.
Once again, to the Richfield Coliseum just outside of Cleveland. It is over. 6-5 in overtime is the final score. The Force beat the Spirit. But let's give some credit to the Spirit. Dombovic, Kapka, and Hagen scored those goals in the fourth quarter. They got them back in it. Unfortunately, in the overtime, Michael Kahn stole the ball, got it in the corner, set up Alex Tarnowski for the game winner. 6-5 in overtime. So it is 2-1. The Cleveland Force lead the Pittsburgh Spirit, but I don't think this thing's over by a long shot.
I don't either, John, but it was such a tremendous game. It really taxed the emotions. I really felt Pittsburgh was going to win it. They were coming from behind. They had Cleveland under pressure. It was really a tough way for either side to lose the game, but unfortunately somebody had to lose it tonight. Still, it's a great series, and it will go to game 4 here Friday night.
And it is Kahn who set it up by kicking the ball in the corner, headed away by Vosmeyer right there. It came back out. Buttle got a foot on it. Vosmeyer hesitated just a little as the ball went into the corner, and Michael Kahn came up, knocked it away. You can see Tarnowski's number 21 is deflected in front, actually deflected, I think, by Marr, but finally Tarnowski got it in, and the Cleveland Force defeat the Pittsburgh Spirit. The final again tonight. They'll celebrate a little bit here in Richfield. It is 6-5 in overtime. An outstanding game, one that just wears you out, John Paul.
It's a tremendous game, John Sanders. It sells indoor soccer. Game 4 will probably be very similar here on Friday night, and then if necessary, game 5 in Pittsburgh. What it does, it means Pittsburgh has to win these 2, or else Cleveland will go on. So Pittsburgh puts the pressure on Cleveland, and character is shown all year. We'll see if it does on Friday night.
Well, for the 5th time, they've gone to overtime. Cleveland has an edge now, 3-2 in the overtime games. They have a 2-1 edge in the playoff series as we get set for that 4th game on Friday night. But I have a feeling the Spirit are going to come back and play a strong game on Friday.
Well, they're by no means dead. I think they showed Cleveland a lot of stuff tonight. They should have won the game. I think they had the game in the end. A couple of great scoring chances, and if one of those goes in, you know, it's a game of inches. It doesn't, but both sides had chances. Remember, Vaccaro made a great save on Sibbies, where we both thought the game was over. Mavlik made the save on Tarnowski. It was, just like I say, one of those games that really sold indoor soccer to any of the skeptics that are back there.
Before John Paul Delacamera, I'm John Sanders. It's been a beauty. The final score, Cleveland defeats Pittsburgh in overtime tonight, 6-4. Cleveland takes a 2-1 lead in the best-of-5 playoff series. You've been watching Pittsburgh Spirit Soccer.
Pittsburgh Spirit Soccer has been brought to you by Budweiser, the king of beers. Reach for that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser. For all you do, this Bud's for you. By Burger King, where the Whopper is fixed the way you want it. Aren't you hungry for Burger King now? By Mellon Bank, a neighbor you can count on, serving Penn Southwest with more than 100 community offices. And by Cameron Coca-Cola. Coke is it. The executive producer of Spirit Soccer is Bill Strong. This game has been produced and directed by Doug Kennedy. Production services by DK Productions Incorporated. Remote facilities by Unitel Mobile Video. This has been a CAC Sports presentation.